a very important broadcast. We're going to try. Let's just share it quickly. Share it as many people as you can. How long una go dey suffer? It's a song that I wrote. Please do share, share, and share. Please continue to share this to reach as many people as possible on all platforms. We have a very important topic to talk about, and it's about the Ivory Coast, the puppets who has let themselves become, sell to the highest bidder. We will talk about that. So before we do that, let's go ahead. It's of course how long una go to suffer. Here we go. Please do share. CitizenAY. Uh-huh. People at your way salute. Huh? Yeah, 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 yeah. Huh? Me una here, oh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Here we go. How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? Share, share, share. How long gonna go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long go? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? My people, we don't tire inside Nigeria. Now slave camp we dey oh. My people, we don't tire for the country where them they call Nigeria. Now slave camp oh. The time done now where we suppose stand up for our rights oh. Stand up for our rights oh. The time done now where we suppose up oh, for our rights oh. For self-determination. How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? Long gonna go this suffer? How long go? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? Abdul Salam na fake man. Now he put that yeah constitution for your head, yo. Abdul Salam na fake man. Now military man come tell una say una get constitution. Na lie yo, na fake, na fraud oh. That yeah constitution. Now in dem dey take close to una eye yo. Make una wake up, make una wake up oh. Mo kàn bèrè ní o, I just dey wonder. Mo kàn bèrè ní o, I just dey wonder. Mo kàn bèrè ní o, I just dey wonder. Mo kàn bèrè ní o, I just dey wonder. Bèrè ní o, I just dey wonder. Mo kàn bèrè ní o, I just dey wonder. Mo kàn bèrè ní o, I just dey wonder. Mo kàn bèrè ní o, I just dey wonder. My people, I wan make una know say o, self-determination oh, na your right yo. My people, I wan make una know say o, self-determination na your right yo. You must fight for your rights. You must stand for your rights. You must get up, stand up. You must tell your people for your village, for your town, for your city, any inside country where you dey oh. Atiku, Emilokan, Obita Obi no be the solution. Na the solution, na be the solution. Make una wake up. Make una wake up. Time don knack. You be Yoruba man. You be Biafran. I wan make una know say self-determination na your right you. Hey, 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 ha! Yoruba land na your land, yo. Middle belt na your land, yo. Hausa land na your land, yo. Biafra land na your land, yo. No be Nigeria. No be Nigeria. No be Nigeria. No be Nigeria. La 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 la. Oh. Thank you so very much. Thank you for listening. Welcome to CitizenAY, the platform where we speak to the power. Those of you on YouTube, good evening and welcome. We had an earlier discussion, and thank you for those of you who are giving us a like. As you're coming in, hit the like button on YouTube, give us and hit the like button on TikTok. It's a pleasure to have you all here. We're going to go straight into it. Let me show you the topic that we want to cover right now on the broadcast tonight. And it's this. We have a puppet leader. Let me put it next to me. I want you to just see myself as we're saying it. We have a puppet leader. The puppet leader agrees to US base in Ivory Coast. The puppet leader, John, he agrees to have a US base in Ivory Coast. And that flies in the face of what they tell us that they are a sovereign. It flies in the face of it. This is why we say what we're saying. This is why we're very clear in what we're saying. Do let me know if you can hear me loud and clear, those of you on YouTube, TikTok. So let me just check something. Can you hear me? TikTok. So yes, you can hear me. Yes, you can hear me. Okay, I can see that. I wanted to just before I carried on, I needed to know you can hear me. So we are going to dissect. This is what we mean. The puppet leaders. Nigeria would have, you know what happened when Niger kicked out the US. When kicked out the US. Good evening and welcome. I'll be adding some guests. If you do, let me see who I'm going to make into multi-guest on here. So we're going to do a joint discussion. It's going to go on a bit on what do you call it, YouTube and on TikTok. So please, if I'll be inviting a few people. So I'll invite some. If you're able to join me, that's fine. If you're not, that's okay. But we will talk about things. It's really important. I'm going to try and share it to others as well. I'm trying to see if I can get the moderators to join me, but I don't know. I'm still not too sure how this works. But nonetheless, we will continue as we speak. Good evening, Kabiru Kadniu. So, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you on board with us. Good evening, Kabiru. Good evening. Yeah, let's hear from you for a few minutes. What would you like to say, Kabiru Kadniu, before I proceed? Good evening and welcome to you. It's a pleasure. Let me bring in DJ Tego as well. I'll add him as well as a multi-guest. You know what? I'm going to mute you in the back for now whilst I carry on because I don't want the echo to go into the discussion. And I want the moderators to join me, but I cannot see them at the minute, and I'm hoping I can get them in. But no problem, we'll carry on with it. I'm going to just throw the invite to as many people as I can. And if you're able to join me, just click on it and, and I'll be connect. We're going to reconnect. You have to reconnect. So the US told, Niger told the US to leave Niger. Niger wouldn't leave. US wouldn't leave Niger. So what happened was Niger got the Russians, 1,000 Russian troops to be stationed in the same base with the US. They were stationed in the same base with the US. And what that meant was that the US had no other choice. They didn't want to start something. So the US, they fled. They decided to leave the bases in Niger. They left the bases. And once they left the bases, they started looking for a place to go to. They first went to Nigeria. They went into Nigeria and they wanted to get the people to agree to them having a base. The people of Nigeria rebelled. Everybody rebelled in Nigeria. That is one thing. It wasn't the government. The government were waiting to see how the people respond. But the people said no. And there was so much noise made in Nigeria, as in the country Nigeria, not Niger. People rebelled. They were saying, no, we don't want UN base. We don't want US base. We don't want US base. So the US said, okay, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Meanwhile, they could see
that the Alliance of Sahel States, they have had training. They've been having training sessions with Togo and Chad. So they were trying to find a way. They're trying to find a way to weaken the Alliance of Sahel States, and they're trying to penetrate. So what do? Let us read a little bit about this. So the French. So this has been reported by French outlet Le Monde. It reported that Ivorian government approved the construction of a U.S. base in northwestern Côte d'Ivoire as the United States withdraws from and relocates from Niger. Can you see? How is it that a president of an African country, a supposedly sovereign country, willingly gives away his sovereignty to allow the US to put a military base on their soil? Now listen to what Niger said about the US base in Niger. Listen to what Niger said about the US bases. Niger could not go into any of the US base in their soil. They couldn't go and inspect what was happening in the base. They couldn't ask any questions. They could fly, the US could fly anything it wanted straight into that base, or fly anything it wanted out of that base, and no questions. The Nigerians had no right to ask, because as far as the US is concerned, it was a strategic base. Now, this is so unacceptable and hypocritical. The US and the French, they like to talk about democracy and liberty and all of this. Please, where is the liberty when you are telling a country, the French are involved in this? Because don't forget, Ivory Coast is a French-speaking country, meaning that the French has actually told them, you do what we tell you. They've told the puppet. This is why we don't want puppets. The puppets do not fight for the people in the country that they are supposed to be serving. They instead serve the interests of the colonial masters. And that is why we're saying we don't want puppets. We don't need puppets on the African continent. We need them to leave. Somebody said Europe and USA is coming to Africa very soon. Well, that's what they're trying to do. But guess what? If they want to, they're going to find out what's going to happen. Yeah. If you want to mess around, find out what's going to happen, well, you go right ahead. Niger, all I know is that Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali, they ain't playing. Please tap and share the screen and reach and help us grow the platform. We welcome your support as you're watching. Tap the screen, share, and we welcome gifts as well. Please tap, share. Let's grow the platform, and we really appreciate your support. So, like I was saying, let me quickly go and do a quick search for you, and I might show it on the screen. I'll get the search on here first. So Niger was not allowed to go into US base. Niger, I'm going to just show you, was not allowed to go into the US base. So, into US base. Okay. US base in Niger. So let me just put it up. I just want to check it first. Now let me see. Okay. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to quickly complete withdrawal. Okay. So they have completed withdrawal. By the 8th of July, they completed their withdrawal. Okay. So there was somewhere I read and I heard that the Niger authorities was not allowed to enter the military base. I'll get the information for us later on. But just the mere fact, and even in Nigeria, I have heard that there are some biological warfare places, biological labs in Borno State, that Nigerians, as in the country Nigeria, they are now allowed to go into that biological lab. And we don't know what they're doing in the lab. Can you see what is going on? So it was a good thing that Nigeria itself said, no, we don't want US base on Nigerian soil. And here we have Ivory Coast, a supposed independent nation, now willingly accepting for their sovereignty to be impinged upon by having a US base placed in there. Now, let me read to you something else I saw that I wanted to bring up about this US base. And it's really important that we understand it. Please do share. Tap the screen and share. You are, of course, watching CitizenAY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Those of you on YouTube, as you're watching, welcome and good evening. Please give us a thumbs up. The more thumbs up, the more the broadcast will reach more people. So we really do need your support. Now, I won't be able to show you the pictures of what I'm doing in TikTok, but I can talk to you about it because I'm using the mobile device at this point. But please tap, give us the thumbs up on YouTube. The more you give the thumbs up, the more people will come and join us. And I'm really grateful that you're joining us this evening. Same goes to those of you on TikTok as well. So let me quickly just show you something that I found out, and I wanted to read a little bit into it. Now, what business is it of the US or France what we Africans decide to do on the African soil? I want to know that question. I'd like somebody to answer that question. What business is it? What business is it of the Western countries when Africa decides what it wants to do? Supposedly, they keep telling us that we are sovereign nations. As a sovereign nation, you are supposed to be able to determine the future for yourself, your community, your nation, without interference from any foreign body. But here we have the French, who are pulling the strings behind. They are pulling the strings of the puppet. Let me find out who is the current president of Ivory Coast. I want to mention his name and see how long he's been there for Ivory Coast president. So let's just get that up quickly. Ivory Coast president. Okay. Let me just get that right here, and I'll tell you in a minute. I know his name, but I can't remember just now. Alassane Ouattara, exactly. So this guy here, I'm gonna show you as we're going on. This guy here, Alassane Ouattara, let me see, is the current leader. Okay, let me just quickly do it. That's him. That's him right there. Let me see. Can you see it? Can you see it? That's him right there. That's the man there. The man you see in the picture, that is him. That is the current president. It's Alassane Ouattara. Now, he has willingly given up the sovereignty of the entire Ivorian people without their say-so to allow a foreign base to be placed on their soil. That is un-African. That is something that goes against the rights of the people as sovereigns to determine what happens in their land. He is leaving the door open because he's a puppet of Macron. Macron, remember, the French are the ones who are they're still using CFA francs in Ivory Coast. They are still doing that, So this is so crazy that this is happening, and they are showing themselves by their actions. We shall know them. The man you see on the screen, sorry, those of you on YouTube, you won't be able to see it, but his name is Alassane Ouattara. He is a puppet of the French on the African soil. He is doing the bidding of the French on our soil. I want to know when he got in. He was president from May 2011. We are now in 2024. And yet the French will come to be telling us about democracy. This man has been in there since 2011. So 2011, right, to 2021, that's 10 years right there. Put 3 more on it. So it's been there for 14 years. But yet the French will come and talk to us about democracy, right? So they are happy if the man that they put in there can be there for as long as they want. Oh, that's democracy. And for as long as the man allows them to take the resources from Ivory Coast. Let us go and see the resources that Ivory Coast has, so you can understand why this is important. Mineral resources in Ivory Coast. I'm going to show you as we're going along. Mineral resources in Ivory Coast. And I'm going to come and talk about the bases. And we need to raise alarm about this. We need to raise alarm about what's going on. Please tap the screen and share. Help us grow the platform. And we welcome gifts. As you're walking in, as you're coming in, please give us thumbs up. Those of you on YouTube, give us thumbs up. Please hit the like button on TikTok. We welcome gifts. Please share the broadcast. Let it reach as many people as possible. We really appreciate your support. So let us go and do mineral resources in Ivory Coast, right? So we'll understand what's going on in Ivory Coast to see why the French are there. And we have to call this out. Okay, guess what? Aha! It comes clear. Those of you on TikTok, you can see it. Mineral resources exploited in Cote d'Ivoire include diamonds and gold. Deposits of iron ore, bauxite, manganese also exist. You see that? Iron ore in mine is mined near Mount Nimba. You see what is going on. You see why the French are on the African soil. They don't want to let go. You see why Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso had to forcibly take away the feeding bottle, because Africa is a feeding bottle for the likes of the French and the US and all the Western colonials. We are the feeding bottle. They take the resources and they take it remorselessly without care for we the people. Very much in the same vein as Cecil Rhodes. They don't believe Africans have a right to the resources on our land. They believe it belongs to them. And this is why they're doing this. How can anybody justify instructing the president, Alassane Ouattara of Ivory Coast, to allow the US to have a military base right next to the alliance of Sahel states? It could only mean one thing. They are trying to prepare a base to launch a kind of attack on the African soil against the alliance of Sahel states. That is what is going on. And we need to be speaking out about this. Please do share the broadcast as you're watching. You're listening to CitizenAY, the platform where we speak truth to power. We're here to enlighten Africans, to awaken us, to ensure that we know what is being done by these people, to ensure that all of the injustice that has been going on, we are going to put a stop to it collectively. We have to raise the level of awareness within all African communities, critically in our local languages. Please don't misunderstand me because I'm speaking English like this. I speak Yoruba, man. I speak Yoruba. My grandma, she's my ancestor. My grandma taught me the Yoruba I speak. I am forever thankful. Mama, Esheun, mo mọ̀ pé ń gbọ́ mi, mo dẹ̀ kí yín. Ẹ bá wa jàjà yìí, ẹ bá wa dìde, kẹ bá wa jàjà yìí. A fẹ́ bọ́ kúrò lóko ẹrú. I'm speaking to my grandma. You see, that's what you do. We Africans, we can connect at any point. We're speaking to the spirit and we're speaking to the ether. And when we do that, we raise up our ancestors. Raise your ancestors. We need them to wake up in the struggle in Africa. We are not claiming anybody's land. We are going for African land. For that, we need the support of our ancestors. In fact, they are the ones directing what is going on now. Many millions of Africans are waking up because our ancestors have said it is time. The time is now. We need to wake up. Mansa X, let me bring you on board. I'll throw you an invite straight away. I'm going to sort of multi-guest you as well. And anybody I see on there, I'm not sure I can get my moderators are up there. I'm trying to get them in, but I don't know how to do it. So do bear with me. Vanna May, Linda, if you see the broadcast, I'll see if I can share with you somehow. But anyway, please give us the thumbs up on YouTube as you're coming in. The more you hit the thumbs up, the more it will reach more people. So, like I was saying, our ancestors are saying it is now. The time is now. We need to work together to make sure that Africa is back in the hands of Africans. Like I said, as we speak right now, in Ivory Coast, they are amassing. They're creating military bases. They're trying to bring people. And also, I will touch briefly on Benin Republic. Benin Republic is also another country that they want to use to actually be preparing all of this stuff that they want to use to mount an offensive against a sovereign nation. The sovereign nations of Burkina Faso and Mali and Niger. Now, they like to call what happened in those countries, they like to call it they say junta. No, it's not. It is not junta. The words we should use are the words spoken by Dr. Arikana Shombori Kwao. She called it an intellectual realignment. Yes, exactly. We're not the Kabiru Junta. Kadu, are you there, Kabiru Junta? Can you hear me? If you want to speak to us, I see you're watching me on both platforms. If you want to chip in on TikTok, do let me know. So, Africans, we must make sure we take control of that narrative. We must not in any way, shape, or form accept the term junta. They are in no way, shape, or form junta. Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso is not a junta military government. Assimi Gota is not a junta taking over as a military. General Chani is not a junta. What is happening is that their land, France, let us say exactly what it is. You see the diamonds and the gold in Ivory Coast. That is what France is after. The problem is it doesn't belong to France. It belongs to the people of Ivory Coast. And yet France is prepared to ignore the rights of the people of Ivory Coast and continue to take their resources at peanuts. That is what is going on. And that is exactly what Niger fought against. Niger was for over 40 years. France was taking uranium for peanuts. They were paying something like 80 cents in the euro for a kilo of uranium. Now that Niger has taken over, they have to pay 200 euros per kilo of uranium. Can you see the daylight robbery? Ivory Coast, the man that they put in there, he's been in government for over 13 years. You will never hear them say, oh, he's undemocratic. Oh, he's not. They are supporting him because he's a puppet they put in there to continue to allow them to have unfettered access to our resources. Citizens, we need to speak up. This is not right. This is totally unacceptable. And we are calling you to please. Yes, go ahead. Yes, what would you like to say, my brother? Kabiru, go ahead. Go ahead. Yes, let's hear from you. Yes, go ahead.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm an American Nigerian. I have my bachelor's degree.
Fantastic.
I've lived in America almost my whole life.
Okay.
I speak Benin.
Fantastic. Love that.
Yeah. So you are my friend, Omo.
Omo, as in Yoruba. Yes, Omo. Yes.
Yeah. So, like, what I want to say, right?
Yes.
What I want to say, right?
Go ahead, please. Yes.
Is that I have my bachelor's degree. You know, I'm making about $50,000 a year in the United States.
Okay.
And I want to marry and go back home to America, but my parents are African, Nigerian, and they don't want me to go back to Nigeria and marry. I have a Black American friend. His name is Cuz Cuddy. He's living in Burkina Faso right now.
Yes.
He has a YouTube channel.
Okay.
He has currently lost about 5 of his friends in America because he left the United States and went to
Burkina Faso. Oh, really? Well,
yes.
You know what? They're not friends.
Not only that, but
yeah, go ahead.
Not only that, but I have another friend that is an American. His name is Food Vibes. He's been in the United States for about 21 years. He has another YouTube channel.
Okay.
And he left the United States about 2 weeks ago and went back to Ghana.
Fantastic. Why not?
So a lot of Black Americans, FBAs, ADOS, are going back to Africa because they don't want to deal with the bull that's going on in America, and they're going back to those 3 countries: Mali, Burkina Faso, and
Niger.
Guinea.
No.
I think Guinea.
Oh no,
Guinea.
Oh, he went back to Guinea. Okay.
Guinea.
Okay.
You know where the coup occurred in Guinea?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have 2 more friends that have American-born Blacks that have left America and have gone back to those countries and are showing it on their YouTube channel.
Okay.
You cannot believe how many people are cursing them.
Well, I mean, it's to be expected, you know, because you know, a lot of people, we've been fed with the mainstream media, which is false, the false narrative. That's what people tend to believe, and that is why platforms like myself and your friends is important to share the real news, the real situation on ground. How is it that the West will tell us that we're a democracy, And then they would tell a country like Ivory Coast to go and allow them to have a base so they can do as a launch pad to go in and attack the alliance of Sahel states. This is wrong. This is not acceptable. It's none of their business.
I asked my father that, sir. I asked my father that.
Yes.
My father went to UNILAC. He got his master's in Texas and his PhD at Howard University, and brought us from Nigeria over here. And I asked him that, and he said that the Europeans have been in West Africa since the 14th century.
Even older, but yeah, go ahead.
Stayed there, and what they're doing, and what they're doing now, and what they're continue to doing, is that they're going to be continue to install military bases. Well, they cannot get there without military bases.
Exactly. But the good thing,
and once people find out that they are in these military bases, people will tell them to leave. Like exactly. They had to leave Afghanistan.
Yes, exactly. Like
one day they're going to have to leave Kuwait.
Exactly. Niger has told them to leave. They've had to leave Niger. They didn't think they would. You know, before they left Niger, the base in Niger was one of the largest in Africa. The military base that US had in Niger was one of the largest in Africa. And they didn't want to leave. They kept saying no.
What they do is that they'll have military bases, and then they will leave the military bases, and they will go and impregnate local women. That's what happened in Vietnam. That's what happened in World War I and World War II. These guys will go to these countries, and they'll go and impregnate these women, and then they won't take care of their kids, because there's no child support in Africa.
No.
So it's a bad situation all around.
Exactly.
They cannot be in these countries if it's democracy.
Exactly.
And the people don't want them there, and they're not telling the people there. So once you start telling people that they are in these military bases, they will have to evacuate.
They have to. I mean, they didn't want to leave. In fact, in Burkina Faso, they found, when they moved the French out, they found a secret US base where they had to tell them, leave. And why is it? Please, they have to tell us. You tell us that we are a democracy. You want us to do our own thing, but yet you are imposing on the people. You are taking the resources of these countries, all of the African countries. The US has around 200 military bases in Africa. And look at what is happening in Congo. They have a military base in Congo. And so far as I speak to you, 90 million people have been unalived in Congo because of the resources. 90 million people has been unalived in Congo. So the US having the base.
So let me ask you this.
Yes.
Let me ask you this question.
Yes.
The diaspora that are in the United States, right?
Yeah.
They don't want to go back home to come and marry like they used to in the past. They don't want to go back. So how do we teach them to go back home and marry? Leave the LGBTQ community alone and go back home and start a family.
This is where a very good question.
They would rather marry somebody semi-illiterate here than go back home and marry where they came from.
You see, the thing is this.
And it's a trend. And how do you break that trend? Because the generations that are coming here from those African countries, they are becoming Americanized.
Well,
they don't respect.
Go ahead.
The law of the land.
Well, I mean,
the law of the land. They are looking for remuneration, money, prosperity in their jobs here. And once they get that, they don't even go back home and build. They would rather build here or live off credit. It's ridiculous.
You know why that is? A lot of what has been happening, when over time, when a group of people have been made to go through this mental colonization, they now actually accept what this put before them. They're not using their critical thinking to actually be able to come up to a proper reasoned decision, because they are being programmed to actually believe that everything about themselves, everything about their control, everything about Africa is negative. So the first thing that many of us have wrongly, believed was that if you leave Africa, then you get your best life. No. Your best life lies in staying in Africa. I'm saying that as a person who's in diaspora. I'm saying it when I see Africans who are going into offices 5 and 6 o'clock in the evening when the office closes, and you are seeing Africans doing cleaning jobs to make ends meet, and these guys they are qualified people. They are doctors, they are lawyers, they are scientists, they are accountants, they've got all the skills. But when they come to Europe, they now understand that their papers are worthless because they don't view them as people. They are only to be used. So you will see them doing care work. You will see them doing all the menial jobs with all their qualifications. And in some of them, when you come into Europe and diaspora, you have to go and relearn. So you've spent 5, 6 years being a doctor, being whatever. Guess what? When you come to Europe, you now have to go and start at the bottom of the ladder again. See, these are the things we need to explain to those who are coming abroad, who think it's a rosy life to be in diaspora. We need to explain that, and that's what we're trying to do through programs like this, to raise that awareness, to make us know that, look, in Africa, those countries, the European countries, the G7s, the Canada, US, and all of that, they depend 100% on African resources beneath our feet. All too often, we have not been taught about those things. Why is it that Africans, we don't have mining experts who can? Why are we having mining schools that teaches our children how to be miners, how to clean, how to wash the gold, how to do all of that, how to process, do finished products from the mineral resources? It's by design. They don't want Africa to be able to have finished products. And guess what? This is what Ibrahim Traore is doing. He has got kids to go out and get expert knowledge on technology, new technology, 2,000 of them plus, in Russia and China and other places. He's a can-do man. He's not talking, he's taking action. He's not buying flashcards for himself. He's using the funds of the nation to actually make sure that he protects the nation through giving them expert knowledge, to make them believe in themselves, to make them be proud as Africans. So that is what we need to do to awaken these people. And let me add one more thing before, then I'll let you chip it again. The thing to understand, I've got a program that I'm doing right now, and let me see if I can show people the GoFundMe. Our African women, those of you on YouTube, you will have to join us on TikTok. Sorry, let me just mute that. That's not what I wanted to do. I want to show you this one. Although that's a beautiful lady right there. That's the lady that was the South African. I'll tell you the story about her. Tidi Madeshina. She was being really been unfairly treated in South Africa, and she left, and now she's competing for Miss Nigeria in Nigeria, which is I like that story, but I'll talk to more about that later on. What I want to do is I want to go and show you the GoFundMe, and you see come up. There are many African women and men who are being enslaved in the Arab world. And many of them are ending up in the Mediterranean because they think there's a better future for them in Europe and America, and all this. And of course, they end up unalived, on the boat journey, enslaved, beaten, raped, you name it. So many people, these are the real stories that people don't get to hear. And we want to share it on here. So let me just go back again. What's going on here? Sorry about that. I don't want to do that one. I didn't mean that. Let me just get that back. I'll come back. That's not what I wanted to do. Just give me a minute. Here we go. I'm almost there. Just give me a minute. I need to show you this. So, my brother, I'm really glad that you're with me, Kabiru. Let me just quickly get this out. Hang on, where is it? I'm just trying to get this information to show you what I mean, so that these are the things that are never talked about, and we want to talk about it so that our people are aware of what is going on. Hang on, I have it here. Oh, come on. So give me a second. I know it is. I just shared it. Okay. Is that it? No, that's not it. Okay, we will bring it out. But the point I'm making is that there is we have a GoFundMe in place for women who have been raped and abused, and we want people to donate to that because we want to bring them home. We are not going to wait, and it's a shame on our African government that they're not moving fast enough to actually help our people. Many women have unalived themselves because of this injustice that I'm trying to show on the screen. Give me a minute. I just need to find it. There's a lot of information that I've shared recently, and sometimes it is in between there somewhere, but I can't access it for some reason. Okay, give me 1 sec. I'm gonna try another way.
Hey, can I just tell a quick story while you do that
Yes,
one?
yeah, go ahead. You go ahead. You go ahead. Yes, please go ahead. Go ahead.
So look, I get a brother that went to go pick up my father.
Mm-hmm.
Brought him a wife to marry.
Okay.
And when he brought him a wife to come and marry,
Yeah.
the woman, she ended up going to she ended up going to
Okay.
UAE.
Yes.
UAE.
That's it.
And he was trying to get her over here. So the Nigerian passport, he got her a Nigerian passport,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Go ahead.
Because he was trying to get her over here to America.
Yes.
And so the embassy denied her from coming here.
Mm-hmm.
And he called the United States Embassy and he said, "This is the woman that I wanted to marry.
Mm-hmm.
How come that you guys denied her?"
Yeah. Yeah.
And the United States Embassy said that we did not deny her. The Nigerian government embassy denied her visa to go to the United States. And what happened was, once my brother started dating this girl,
Yeah.
some people used Facebook to connect to the woman.
Yeah.
They flew her out to Dubai and they urinated on her. They threw feces on her. They paid her like $5,000 for it and flew her back to Nigeria. The Nigerian embassy found out about it and told my brother that she was doing 419, that she was that her passport had stamps from Dubai.
Thank you, Jen Goldie.
And there were a lot of red flags.
Yeah. Yeah.
So once my brother found out the story, it was like 2020. So since then, COVID occurred. He's not been able to marry, and now he's down about the whole thing.
Of course.
But that's what a lot of the Arabs do because they're Islamic.
Yes.
They believe in a woman must be submission
But
to the man, just like how they have submission to Allah.
This is actually worse than that. Greetings, Only Bantu. Let me bring in Only Bantu as well. This is worse than that. This is much worse than that. We know that women in the Arab culture they're not valued as the same as men. They're not treated with respect. But what is worse is that African women, they call them. One of the ladies who we're trying to raise funds for, she was told by the person that employed her a few days ago. She was told that she is smelly, that and dirty, and they want her to go. That is what her employer said after she'd been working for them for 4 months, and they didn't pay her the last month's wage. This is in Iraq. So what I'm saying is that the Arabs.
I'm sorry, sir. The last thing is, I know that this is not here or there, but in 2021, they banned cola nuts into Mecca for Ramadan.
Exactly.
Because we are taking over the whole of Mecca. So they banned us from bringing cola nut into Mecca and praying with that when that is part of our culture.
Why would anybody want to go there? Why do you want to go? Why do you want to go? Why are we going to where we're not wanted? We can do fine, just fine at home, and that's what I'm trying to say. These religions are used to actually close our minds to what's really going on. Do you know that the UAE are looting gold from Africa as we speak? And they are treating our women and men like this. I've seen a video where a man was strapped to a chair. His hands was on the front. They turned the chair back and they put his hand on the chair like this. And the Arab man was whipping this man. He was crying, literally bawling. And I couldn't watch it. And these are the things that we're talking about. That is, greetings, only Bantu. Let me add you to multi-guest. If you're able to join, I'd really like that. So we can hear from you as well. So these are the inhumane treatment. And also, I also found out that the people, I spoke to a couple of people, and one of them said that their own relatives in Saudi Arabia, I think it was, they had their kidney removed when they were enslaved. They had their kidney forcibly removed, and there was nothing they could do. So these are the realities of what, when we talk about people wanting to go out, people saying, oh, I want to go and live in, I want to go, I'll get a better life abroad. It's an illusion. It's an illusion. Because oftentimes when you get out there, the treatment that we get as Africans is despicable. It is unacceptable. And we need to call it out. So this program here is to enlighten people. Many, you see, people who actually go out, when the women come out and they have this mentality of, oh, I can do whatever, I can go out and then I can be bad to my fellow African and all that. That is all down to the indoctrination that we've gone through. We've been so psychologically messed up. I was showing a video today of a military woman in the UK, Carrie Ann Knight. She was the face. This lady was the face of the British Army. I don't know if I can get the picture up. I'll show you. In fact, as we're talking about it now, I'm going to play it again, just for good measure. Because oftentimes we don't get to hear these stories. We don't get to hear the real awful things they've done. And as you are here now, I'm actually going to play that as we speak. So there is a lot of damage that's been done to us as Africans. And the systems that we are existing in, either in Africa or in America or in the US or or in Europe or UK or Canada, wherever, the system is piling constant racist pressure, mental, psychological pressure on us, every point, at every level. I'm not saying this to be what's the word? Just as a matter of just to speak. I'm telling us facts that we need to be aware of. Those of you watching us on YouTube, please, we really appreciate you. As you're watching, give us. I want to go to Canada. Big Tone. Please, I got people who are in Canada. They're going through difficult issues as well. I understand you want to go. It is better. What country? Big Tone. You are writing on YouTube. Can you tell me the country you're in, and I'll tell you your mineral resources. I need you to know that you have a sovereignty, you have authority, you have power. Let me quickly play this video, and you can hear that as well. This is the case of the woman who was going to be the face, was meant to be the face of the British Army. Let's have a listen.
The British Army has admitted that a black soldier who fronted several recruitment campaigns had to work in an unacceptable environment where she experienced sexist and racist harassment. As well as apologising, the army has paid the soldier a substantial financial sum. Carrie Ann Knight, who left the army this year, has been talking for the first time to our defence correspondent, Jonathan Beale.
Have a listen.
That's the section I was in. Yeah, can you spot me?
I can spot you.
Yeah.
Carrie Ann Knight always knew she'd stand out. In an army struggling to recruit both women and ethnic minorities. Were you the only black person in
Yeah, I was the only a black female.
But she joined full of hope, assuming racism had long been stamped out.
For some reason, I thought someone in uniform was going to be professional, and I was very excited to be a part of that and just creating my own family.
Please share, continue to share. We welcome gifts.
Became a face for army recruitment. She knew why the army wanted to appeal to the groups she represented. But she also became a target for abuse.
I was extremely shocked because I really didn't experience such deep levels of racism. Yeah, I had to learn the hard way in the army.
It got worse when she became an instructor at Harrogate. It's where the army trains junior soldiers from the age of 16. It's controversial, not least because in the past there have been allegations of bullying. Carrie Ann says she witnessed it. But she too suffered at the hands of her fellow white male instructors.
They'd pile everything daily on my desk, so just to show me that I'm not welcomed. And I remember one day they took a photo of me just standing at that desk, looking slightly broken, just having to sort out that rubbish before I can use my desk.
See that?
They'd have Django Unchained playing. They would repeat the most, say, racist lines.
Hear that?
And then they'd chuckle. They spoke outright in the office about lynching me.
See?
Simply
Lynching.
because I'd put in a complaint.
Lynching in 2024.
It was suggested for me to be tar and feathered.
Rather than root out the racism, she says the army closed ranks to protect the organization.
When they tried to paint out as if I was a aggressive black woman, that was extremely tough. If it wasn't for those individuals who supported me, whether secretly or publicly, yeah, I would have been broken.
Earlier this year, she took her case to an employment tribunal. The army contested it, but as the evidence mounted, it issued an apology. It accepted Mrs. Knight had to work in an environment where she experienced racist and sexist harassment.
Exactly.
It admitted the army failed her. In a separate statement, the MOD said it had settled the claim with no admission of liability.
I would never encourage a woman, especially of colour, to join the army, because it's not going to benefit your life in the long run.
Kerry Ann's image was used to promote a positive image of the army, that it's inclusive and welcome to all. But her harrowing experience tells a very different story. Jonathan Beale, BBC News.
So this was by BBC News. I'm sharing it with you. I'm saying consistently, in all cases, you can see that racism it's evident in all the policies. There's financial racism, there's medical racism, there's economic racism, there's manufacturing racism. There's, this is okay only for Bantu. I understand. That's fine. That's okay. Anybody, I'm going to try and see if you want to join and wanted to make one or two comments on TikTok, you of course welcome to just send me an invite and I'll add you into the multi-guest. We have the opportunity to have you online and join us. And welcome once again to those of you who are on YouTube. You are of course listening to CitizenAY, the platform where we speak truth to power. We are here to enlighten Africans, to empower us, to make us know, yeah, exactly, Akebulan. Yeah, the beauty, exactly. So this is totally unacceptable, and we can no longer be silent in the face of this. I'm telling you, in the UK, the board members in the UK, in the transport industry, in fact, in the industry, Africans don't make up even 3% of the board members, top executives. The last time I was in a meeting where we had meetings with the board. I was in a meeting with the board of the London Underground, chaired by that time by an American. And we sat down and we explained to them that the ceiling that they put up against black people getting into top high echelon, it was a cruel treatment she had to suffer. So the ceiling, the cruelty of actually restricting the development and progression of Africans is, it hasn't changed. The needle has barely moved. This is all the way in the late 2000, early 2000. We're in 2024. What's changed? So we need to speak up about this, and our people need to understand that in Africa, our resources is what is really driving the economies of the West. We all have to understand that. Once we understand that, we can now begin to empower. There's a brother on here on YouTube, Big Tone, is saying to me, I want to go to Canada because he doesn't see a future for himself. But I'm here to let you know that, listen, the resources that they openly are saying that themselves that they are relying on our resources. It is time that we follow the lead of Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso, Assimi Goïta of Mali, and General Chani of Niger. They are employing their own youths to do the work we need. Ibrahim Traore bought thousands of tractors and he gave it to farmers to farm, to grow the food that Burkina Faso people are going to eat. That is good governance right there. We need more people emulating that. That is what we need. And we need to know that Africa has everything that we need and more. As Africans, I need you to know that you are sovereign, that you have authority, and you have power. And all of that are enshrined in the Constitution. What many of these puppet leaders have been made to do is to enslave Africans on our own soil. And then they take our resources. And then not only through enslavement, the religious practices prevent you from questioning authority. That is what religion is about. The religions of Islam and Christianity on the African continent is about getting you to never question authority, to never use your thinking faculty and say, no, this is wrong. And what is worse, again, I'm sure you've heard me say this, the Constitution in many African countries has been written largely in English, in French, and in Portuguese. In fact, in 54 countries, the research that I've been doing has showed me that many of those constitutions were written in those three languages, like I said, in English, in French, in Portuguese. And you have millions of Africans living in villages and in hamlets and suburbs and things, not speaking a word of any of those languages. Which means that when the government now takes decisions, reading out those decisions in the language, in French, in English, or in Portuguese, the people don't know what laws that are being used to over them, and they don't even know that they have the power to hold them to account. And this is what this platform is about, to begin to raise our level of awareness about our rights, to let us know that every single African, all 1.4 billion of us, we are sovereigns, we have authority, and we have power. And that is where you come in. I'm going to show you a leaflet that I've done. Those of you on TikTok, you will see it. I just want to, I don't believe in just talking. I want to show you what can be done. I'm still doing some more work on it. I need to make it more user-friendly in terms of, I still need to do some one or two things. But I'm going to show you tonight, just to give you an idea. I'm still working on it. So, you will see it come up now. Okay. So, this is what you will see on the screen. Can I make it smaller? I could. So I'm just going to quickly show you that. I just wanted to just show you that. So this is all in Yoruba language. Those of you on YouTube, you won't see it, but those on TikTok will see it. I'm showing a booklet that I've done that shows the powers that the people have in their local language, that they have to use to control the government or question the government or make the government accountable to them. In local languages. That's what we need to do. So let me quickly go forward. So I'm showing you, that's the beginning. What it says there is that the powers that are within the Nigerian constitution in our local language. And then it goes into those constitutional powers, section 10, section 14, all in local language. You see that? And behind, I've put the Oriolokun because that has special significance for Yoruba people. They can understand that. It talks about the head, the king, So in the Nigerian constitution, for example, section 14(2)(a) states, sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives its powers and authority. Now, in 14(2)(a), when we translate it, it says, ìjọba jẹ́ ti àwọn èèyàn Nàìjíríà láti ọ̀dọ̀ ẹni tí ìjọba nípasẹ̀ òfin orílẹ̀-èdè nígbà gbogbo agbára àti àṣẹ rẹ̀. Now, àṣẹ is someone you have authority. To have authority, you have to be a king. So the people, putting the picture of the king of the bronze head, which is representing the king of Oyo Empire, makes them know that they are the sovereigns that the government derives powers from. So there is a connection between the picture and the words critically in local languages. Very, very important for people to be able to connect that to themselves, because now that empowers them to know, I am sovereignty means Oba Alashe, as in the bronze head. Then authority means Ashe, that means the power to question. And then finally, power, Agbara. So that is in local language right there. So what we need to do is to have this kind of information going across all communities in our local languages. So I'm working on that, and I'll bring it up when I'm finished. So that's what I mean. This is real work. And what we need to do is that kind of information, when I finish doing the work to it, because I'm still going to change one or two things into it. I want to make it more interesting and stuff. And if you have any suggestions how to make it even more interesting, let's hear it, and we're prepared to put into that. And we want this kind of information for all 54 countries, so that the people can begin to know their rights in their own language in their country, and they will not have to flee. Many people who are fleeing, who are dying in the Mediterranean, are dying in the Mediterranean not knowing that they have rights to hold their government to account in their local language. So this is what we need to do across Africa. Many people have been misled to believe that they are powerless. In fact, they are powerful. Given the right information, being able to hold the government to account. One of the things also that we're doing to supporting getting that book out there, we're going to be getting it to stakeholders in the community, speaking the local language, so that they can actually go in and explain what the words mean as well in the local language, and how to use those documents, how to use the words to begin to hold the government to account. And critically, in Nigeria, for example, in a nation with 220 million people, would you believe that there is no monthly town hall meeting making those politicians accountable to the people? I kid you not. I've done my research. Any meeting going on are the meetings chaired and controlled and orchestrated by the politicians. There is no free will for the people. And that is what we need to change. When people know their rights in their local language, they will be able to stand up for their rights. And that is what has been used to strip the whole of Africa of our resources, as I'm speaking. Those constitutions. And the beauty of what we're doing is, when the people now start using the constitution in their local language, any of the law that they find that is wrong, you don't have to tell them. They will change it, because they can do it in their language. Whereas, as it currently stands, those constitutions are in foreign languages. They don't know what it means. They don't even know they have the power to change it. So they accept it. And this has been going on for so long. And this is why we are bringing this awareness to everybody. And we need your support in doing that. Please, we welcome donations to what we're doing. Let me quickly show you. You can donate to myself on PayPal. Let me see if I think I have it on the. So you got the PayPal. Oh, sorry, I haven't got it on here. I'll show you on the next one. There is a PayPal that I have that you can donate to. I think it's on my right top as you come in. You will see it on there. The PayPal is attached there. We welcome donations. And also, again, going back to the women here, many of the women that and men that are ending up enslaved in Saudi Arabia, in UAE, in Yemen, in Dubai, in all of those places, in Morocco, in Egypt, many of them, they are not aware that they are sovereign. I want this message to go out to all Africans right now. You are a sovereign. You have authority. You have power. You see, I said those words in Yoruba language for a reason. And I put the Orioloko's head to people to connect that they are indeed the sovereign in their land, and they have the right to hold the government to account. Sovereignty means Oba Alashe in Yoruba language. Authority means Ashe in Yoruba language. And finally, power means Agbara in Yoruba language. That means people in the market women, they will understand those words. They will be able to engage with the process of governance. Without knowing those words in our local language, our people have been removed from the process governing them. And that is what we're trying to repair and fix. So it's going to take a lot of work. I know that was a bit of a segue. I'm going to go back to the topic we carried on before, but it's worth explaining this in detail like this so people can understand where we're coming from when we're talking about this on this particular discussion that we're having tonight about Ivory Coast. They are all interconnected. They are all interconnected. What happened to the lady that you saw, Kerry Ann Knight, is an individual racism. What we are suffering from on the African continent is a systemic racism encompassing economy, education, finance, manufacturing, healthcare, medical health, psychology, religion, you name it. Everything is encased in psychological and continuous uninterrupted racism 24/7, and that is the kind of environment that we're in. I'm not saying for you to feel sorry. I'm saying these are the facts, and to be able to break that down, our people need to be able to they have to have the information in their own local language and begin to combat it themselves. When you give them that information, they will do the rest for themselves. I am sure of that. That is what we need to do. But going back to what I was saying, please, if you can, what you see on the screen, those of you watching, go ahead and donate to the Rescue Africans from Enslavement in Arab countries. Like I said, one of the sisters that is in Iraq now, she got kicked out. She wasn't paid her wage. She had to go and stay at a friend. Many of them have been raped, abused, you name it. There was a video of one African woman that was thrown down from a high-rise building. Of course, she was unalived. These are the realities that we're facing. Those of you on YouTube, thank you so very much. Thank you for watching and thank you for being part of this. Please, could you just continue to give us thumbs up as you're watching? The more thumbs up, the more it reaches more people. And those of you on TikTok, we welcome gifts and donations. Please help us to reach more people. The more you donate, the more you give, the more it actually helps us to be able to carry on with this broadcast and to reach many more people with a lot of information to be able to empower us. We need to free ourselves collectively. No one person can free us. That is the idea I need you to dismiss from your head, because the idea that they've put in our head is this savior JC, this savior Allah. No, we are 1.4 billion people. Collectively, we can free ourselves having the knowledge in our local languages. We've been denied that deliberately. Those who put those systems in place on Africa did that deliberately to keep us from knowing those rights. Now let us go back to the main topic I was doing before, which is to do with the Ivory Coast and what they did. So let me go back to that, and we'll continue. We'll come back and explain a little bit more. Now, what I was going to say, I want to read something to you. The press here, and also when you read anything from the Western media, please be very, very careful. They are very quick they are clever at turning things around in a way to make it sound, it's okay, they're just like that, they make it sound as though, it's the opposite of what they're saying. So, for example, what do I mean? When they see that Ibrahim Traoré and Assimi Goïta are actually protecting the people, they will actually turn around and say, oh, the government of Burkina Faso is attacking its own people, because they are laying the foundation to prepare for when US, France goes in to attack the alliance of Sahel states. So we need to view any news that we get from the mainstream media with suspicion. Check it. And we must be ready to use our platform to debunk every single news. Very, very important. You had my brother on here that people are already going into Burkina Faso, into Niger. People are going.
You know what they're going to say too?
Yes, go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
You know what they're going to say?
Yes.
They're going to say.
Go ahead. I can hear you. Hello?
They are going to say that they are going there to eliminate poverty.
There you go. Exactly.
Because those are the 3 poorest countries in the world.
Yep. Look, exactly. Listen, let us debunk that right away. So they're going to. What did you say again? They are going there to end poverty, right? It said they're going there to end poverty. So we are going to look at that. Now, let us look at the resources they have in Burkina Faso, shall we? and then let us know if they are really going there to end poverty or to deepen poverty, to impose poverty. Because I'm here to tell you that the Western powers in Africa, they are the ones creating poverty. Africa has always been a land where our people has never gone hungry because we have land. When you have land, you can grow food. When you grow food, you never go hungry. Simple. But what they've done is to carve up our land. You can't go to this place. You can't go to that place. You must follow this. You must follow that. You have to do this. You have to do that. They've changed our way of doing things. Totally. And this is what we are facing. And we need to confront that. Let me just go to counter that very assertion that they're coming to save us. They're coming to do some sort of, Jesus Christ kind of, yeah, I'm the savior. We'll come and save you. No, they're coming to impoverish you. They're coming to impoverish you. Let us go ahead and look at this. So mineral resources in Burkina Faso. You can do this yourself. We are trying to educate us so we can begin to make really important decisions. Mineral resources in Burkina Faso. In Burkina Faso. So you can start connecting the dots, is what I'm saying. Burkina Faso. Let's look at the resources they have. Okay, so again, Burkina Faso is rich in mineral resources. So that's the country that they're going to go and help out of poverty, right? It's nothing to do with the resources, is it? Look at the resources that they have. Look at the resources in Burkina Faso. In Burkina Faso, they have gold, zinc, copper, manganese, phosphate, limestone, and others. So when they say they are going to rescue, to end poverty, who is the poverty? Who has poverty? Sorry, let me just get that back. 1 second. Yeah. Who actually is in poverty? Is it Africa, or is it those who are pretending to come and rescue Africans? Because their eyes are firmly fixed on our gold, on our diamond, our manganese, on our phosphate. That's what their eyes are fixed on. So we need to be countering when they say that. Ask them this question. Why are you going to places where there are resources and you're saying you're going to help the people? They didn't ask for your help. We don't want your help. Africa needs to be left alone. You have done enough damage for 500 years. Leave Africa alone. And we must all wake up. I'm showing you the mineral resources. We have mineral. Look, we are the most endowed continent in the entire world with untold riches in terms of mineral resources. The kind of wealth we have on the African continent, there is not enough paper money to print the value. There is not enough paper money to print the value of the wealth that we have. So when they come and say they give you the Bible, you have to give yourself to Christ, give yourself to Allah.
That's why they call it a dumping ground.
There you go. There you go. Precisely. So please, programs like this are very, very important. And please do share the broadcast, reach as many people as possible, and keep this information going. And thank you for raising that point. The third point you said, they say they come to rescue you, they're using propaganda, and of course now, they are deepening poverty. The sole aim of the West, despite their term, or they come to restore peace, they don't want peace on African continent, because it is when we are having distractions of intertribal wars and destruction. They now go in and use their planes, drones, and everything else to pick out our resources and fly out with it without paying a penny. So they need Africa to be in a constant war footing, so that the people are never able to enjoy their resources. These are the facts, and we need to state them as they are. We don't need anything from the West. The West needs everything from us. Let me say that again slowly. We don't need anything from the West. The West needs everything from us. Okay, let me try again. I'm going to try and accept. Oh, it's blocking me. Yeah, I've been trying to bring you in. Let me see. No, I'm not going to follow. I need to bring you in. I've been trying to accept you, my sister, and I can't bring you in. Because I'm on a computer, that's probably why. I need to understand how that works. I'm not too sure. I'm doing this on a computer for the first time, so please do bear with me. But leave your comments, and I'm going to try and... Oh, man. It's a shame. I'll try one more thing. Let me see if I can do it another way. Can I do a little thing here? Yeah, I know you're here. I know. As soon as I try and type it and try to say accept, it suddenly says no. Um, yeah, not even their rice. We don't want anything from them. We don't want anything from them. When we grow, our soil is so fertile. You know the size of when we have oranges in Africa, the oranges that they have in Europe, that's not orange. That is the processed whatever. The oranges are they are sweet. They they are very sweet taste, big. I mean, wow. I mean, look, Africans, we really need to wake up. Um, and you know what? The farmers in Europe, they get given subsidies. It's called Common Agricultural Policy. So everything they grow, it takes them a long time to grow anything. They have to put a lot of things in the soil, phosphate, you name it, for things to grow. Whereas on the African continent, all you have to do is to just dig a small hole, put the corn in 3 days, it grows. Put the yam in, with the seed of the yam in, it grows. Put the beans in, whatever you want to grow on the African continent, it grows. The reason why we are not able to feed ourselves is because of the military bases that they are putting all around us. Let me quickly show you something. Before I go back to that topic, I want to show you number of military bases, U.S. military bases in Africa, just to make you understand. This is why we're saying that what is happening in Ivory Coast is very wrong, and we must call it out. Alassane Ouattara is doing a disservice to the people of Ivory Coast. He's really harming the people by putting military base that the people, his own government, will not be able to go into the US base that they will build in Ivory Coast. I kid you not. That's what happened in Niger. Let us go and do this. So, number of US bases of US bases in Africa. Let's go and look at that, shall we? Okay. So, they're saying it's 29 US bases. We know there's way more than that. We know there's way more than that. I have a map somewhere which I'll bring up. There's way more bases in Africa. The AFRICOM command. It's a network of 29. What is the US doing, having any base on the African continent? What is the US doing, having any base on the African continent, if not to cause destruction, if not to cause to create things, this havoc, to ensure that they can continue to loot our resources? And they want to use with the French. The French, as I speak, they are still printing ciphers for Africans. The French are still printing ciphers for 11 African countries, including Ivory Coast. And you saw Ivory Coast has got what? The mineral in Ivory Coast, they got diamonds and gold. So they take your gold and diamond and they give you cipher. You see? You see what is going on? Do you understand? Do people understand what is really going on? Are we following what is going on? They take your gold and your diamond from you and give you cipher. Cipher that is worthless, that is far worth less in value than your gold and diamond. We must support Ibrahim Traore. You can see him next to me. That's why everybody, please make sure you have this. These three men, let me drop this down. We must make sure that we talk about them and we put them around us. They are true heroes of Africa. They are doing everything. These three men that you see here. So let me just make that. I'll take it away from him. Look at that. That is Assimi Goïta of Mali. That is behind me, General Chiani of Niger. And that is Assimi and Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso. Whatever you're doing, make sure you have them on your broadcast. Make sure you are putting all the good things they're doing. Put it out there. Make sure we're supporting them. Debunk any fake news that they try to put out about them. That's our role. That is our role. We must take that task on without question as Africans. We must take that task on, because the impoverishment of Africans has been going on for over 500 years, and we can't accept this anymore. We have everything we need. We've been prevented from developing. They've done so many of our great leaders. They unalive the whole group of them, 6 of them in the late 50s and early 60s. They unalived 6 of them. They were in the same era. You imagine if those 6 leaders, including Patrice Lumumba, Amilcar Cabral, Moti something, all 6 of them.
My God, can I make a comment right
Please,
quick?
go ahead. Go ahead.
Did you know that Nnamdi Azikiwe dropped out of Howard University in Washington, D.C.?
Sorry, say that again.
You know Nigeria's first president, Nnamdi Azikiwe?
Yes.
He dropped out of Howard University in Washington, D.C.
Really? Oh?
Yes, my father told me that's where Kamala Harris, the current woman running for president, is
Yes.
going to.
Okay.
That's where she graduated from.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So what I truthfully believe is that the Western powers knows this.
Yes.
That's why they're trying to put in puppet leaders
Yep.
here in America so that they can continue not only to grow their military bases in Africa,
Yeah.
but to also, let's say that Trump wins, right?
Mm-hmm.
If Trump wins, they're gonna pump Elon Musk.
Mm-hmm.
Elon Musk is a South African.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
then if Kamala Harris wins, they're gonna pump a Black American to come and put LGBTQ all throughout Africa,
Mm-hmm.
and to put more military bases in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
So if Elon Musk and Trump win, they're gonna mine all the resources out of America and probably have us mining here in America too. And if Kamala Harris wins, they're just gonna spread homosexuality throughout Africa and legalize it.
This is why I applaud many. That's the one thing I agree with Museveni with. He has said a big no to that, and he's not allowed it.
So which one you want? You want Tesla, electric vehicle?
No. No.
From mines in Africa?
No.
Running through Elon Musk, a South African, or you want LGBTQ to spread throughout the African continent and make man powerless?
Well, that's why we need to connect to our spirituality. Let me say something about LGBT. I'm being very, very clear. It is part of the culture in Western world, in Europe, for example. The god of what's this god called again? Anyway, there are so many gods that they have that they actually practice spiritual homosexuality, and there's nothing wrong with that. Equally, there's nothing wrong with Africans doing the ways of our ancestors that has always believed that we have more than one wife. We have a big, we have to stop both. Exactly. Neck 49 on TikTok said we have to stop both. We stop both. So, but I'm just saying that in Africa, we need to educate our people that our culture, that's why we need to know our history. When you don't know your history, somebody else will bring their own history and make you believe it's yours. And this is why we are raising this awareness. You are, of course, listening to CitizenAY, the platform where we speak truth to our power. I'm a Yoruba man. I'm a Yoruba man, very aware. I'm an African. I'm an African first and foremost. I wasn't born in Africa, but Africa was born in me. I'm an African, and I speak Yoruba. I went home to my grandma. I played with my grandma, and grandma taught me the language, the wonderful, the beautiful, the amazing language called Yoruba language. Yoruba do man, emoji. I can just go into my language, and it feels like when I'm speaking my language, I'm wearing the clothes. I'm wearing it with pride. So we have to go for self. So you're right, my brother Kabiru. Obed, let's hear from you. Welcome. Obed, what would you like to say? Go ahead. Or mute.
Thank you, CitizenAY.
Yeah, thank you.
In fact, issues surrounding Africa.
Yeah.
They are big.
And
we keep fighting that.
Yes.
For many years now. We've been
Yeah.
suppressed for many years, but we keep rising. And I don't know when we will surely be.
Yeah.
The question I want to ask, if our leaders are not in front of the fight for freedom, can we, their followers, lead the fight?
Very good question. Very good question. I have an answer for you. I have an answer for you on that one. Okay. You know, before Ibrahim Traore came, there was an initial intellectual realignment before Ibrahim Traore.
Yeah.
So he watched, he's waited. And then when he saw that the person who was there started interacting with the French, he said, no, that's it. I will have to do this. So that question is answered already. We have leaders, not puppets. We have leaders who are in the wings, who are ready to do the work for Africa.
Richard Mao.
Neck 49, 1 second. One second. Neck 49, 1 second. 1 second. Let me let this guy speak. Hold on. Neki, please, let me just let Obed finish. Then I'll come back to you, please, if you don't mind. Let's go back to him first. Obed, go ahead. Yeah, you were saying something.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the next thing I want to say is like there is something going on. I think
are you using a headphone? Because your voice comes in and out. You need to be clearer.
I'm saying that it's like most youth in Africa are not really catching the light of what actually is going on. Because how we need to be proactive to certain things, speak to certain political stands against our own development, growth in the continent or in our various countries. We are not. You could see that some youth are still rallying behind the rock. And I don't know when and how we will help them to wake up in the night.
My brother, here's my take on that. Everybody will have the time when they will wake up. We have to give them space. Some of them are going to wake up just in time. Some of them are going to be slightly behind. Some of them will be slightly behind. And it's okay. You see, what we are trying to eradicate is so deep. This colonial mentality, this indoctrination has been so deep. I'm talking 500 years deep. It is intergenerational. So the work we're going to do is not going to happen overnight.
Yeah.
The people that will really eventually benefit from what we're doing now, they are going to be in the next 50 years, 60 years. We are the ones who are pioneering. Now, you and I are the ones who are pioneering what is going on. And that would just simply mean that we give it time. We have to give each other time because that system has so damaged us. I say that when we get our freedom, we will need to set up. There's a book that I have by Joy DeGroy, Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome. We need to write that book in the frame of to add some things to it so that it meets the needs of Africans in exactly what we've what we've gone through. And I recommend that book for every black person. The post-traumatic slave syndrome. Because you see, people don't understand that when you are enslaved, when people have been enslaved from your people, it is not just one generation. The traits that were picked up during that slavery will still remain as part of the trait of that person. For even when the people, the generations are, hundreds of years, 2 years apart. So this is what is really important for us to get, that as Africans we must identify our mental psychology. Yes, we're in technology slavery, exactly. So we need to be doing that work. Please continue to share the broadcast. Please give us thumbs up as you're watching us on YouTube. Thank you so much for those of you joining us. We welcome super chats from those of you on YouTube as well. And please, we welcome gifts and donations on TikTok as well. Tap and share and help us grow the platform. We truly are grateful for your support. So for us, we need to do a lot of, I need you to know that every African, we have been psychologically damaged and continue to be so. When they put interest rate on the loans that they are going to give to our bank, and next to zero interest rate, in fact zero interest rate on the money that is printed by the US in their country, that is racism. When they tell you that you cannot subsidize your own farmers in Africa, but they give European farmers what is called common agricultural policy subsidy, that is racism. These are what we are facing. These are cold, hard, indisputable facts. And unless we begin to explain that to our people and wake us up slowly and begin to change that mindset, this will continue. But I have no doubt that we are at the cusp of a big change. We must support the man next to me here, the man that you see here, this man. I don't know if you can see that. Sorry, here. This man. Oh, sorry, there. Hang on, I can't. Anyway, the man that you see over there, that's it. This one here. This man next to me here, Ibrahim Traore. He is the man that is showing us what we need to do in Africa. And we need to make sure we protect him. We have to be his eyes and ears. Any information that we are hearing. That's why I'm talking about Ivory Coast. That's why I'm deliberately talking about the Ivory Coast. But yeah, we will. So it's very important that we give people time. Obed, but thank you very much. Dembasi said we are in a technology slavery. Yes, but technology is in our DNA. Let me say that again. Technology is in African DNA, and we will always be ahead of it. Pure and simple. Was it not a black man that made the traffic light, the fridge, the bulb? Lawrence Latimer. Something Latimer, David Latimer or something. So many things we can go into. So I wouldn't worry about that. What we need to do is, once we stand up, natural order must be restored on the African continent. Natural order, not this imposed, free, immoral order, making us believe that we are poor in a land where you can grow anything. That is deliberate cruelty. Deliberate cruelty. And I say that unapologetically. Let us go to Nikki 49. Welcome on board. Thank you for taking it. Thank you for giving me for waiting. Let's hear from you, Nikki 49. Nick 49. Let's hear from you. Are you there? Can you unmute? I'm unmuting you. If you want to chat, let's hear from you. Okay, yes. Go ahead. Welcome.
Well, I was concerned about the Burkina Faso, South Africa, the Ivory Coast.
Yeah.
I'm concerned about all those different places, but I can't understand how we're going to get anywhere if we can't all be united under one controlling force, and that is the Creator. And I can't understand why we have so many different ways of understanding our existence.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I hear different brothers be speaking, and they be saying some good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it never draws down to us being just one people.
Okay.
And the only way that I can see that we can become one people if we go back to Noah.
Okay.
And going back to Noah, we got so many brothers that don't want to believe in this one idea. They got all these different beliefs and different understandings of these beliefs. How do you see it? And I want us to come back together as one people.
Okay. What are you talking in terms of religion now, or are you talking about just as Africans, from a religious perspective? I'm trying to get where you're coming from.
Okay. I don't believe in religion.
Okay.
I believe in culture. And I think all people are of certain cultures. And I think each culture has to be defined in the moral principles of that culture.
Okay.
And being so, the man is always the leader. The woman is always second in charge. And the children, they follow along. And so governments are just like family. It's just the head of all the people in order to keep order amongst the people. But the head must govern itself and the people by one creative entity. So how do we come back together and not use terms such as religion? Because I think religion is something that's man-made.
It is. I agree. I agree with you.
Control people.
That's true. I agree.
That's my question to you.
Okay. Here's my take. For me, I am very, very clear. In my own case, and I can only go from my own experience, my ancestors are Yoruba, a kingdom or your empire. They speak the language, they have spirituality, they have our own big, big kingdom, stretched as far as Togo, and then on the other side as far as Benin, and then up to the Nupe in Nigeria, and also parts of Ghana. So we're talking a very big kingdom. And they survived for thousands of years. There has to be something in that. And equally, the Songhai Empire, the Benin Empire, Kingdom, the Dahomey Kingdom, the Ghana, the Mali, so many of those Dogon Empire, these are big empires, and also the ones in, I think, Zimbabwe. The point I'm making here is this: on the African continent, spirituality was very central to what they did. And one of the things that I'm finding out in almost all African countries, we had 4 days a week. And those 4 days a week gave us 7 weeks in a year, which gave us 28 days in a month. The cycle of the moon. The cycle of the moon. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
You're getting me?
Right.
And that worked. So I don't want to complicate things because we can go deeper, but I don't. But I'm trying to tell you that in Africa right now, I am using those days. I am following those days, those 28 days. And it just opened my eyes. When they tell you this 7 days a week and all that, it is all to throw you off what is really happening, to not make you align and connect with the natural earth. There is a connection between us and the people and the earth. So these are the things that I look at. So clearly for me, religion is a falsehood because it takes you out of aligning with nature. Literally. So one of the things that we must do is to really go back and reconnect with our ancestors. Speak to the ether. They are around us, they are in us, they are out of us, they are in our DNA. They're not going anywhere. They are unstoppable. People don't understand. They are unstoppable. They can do, there's nothing. Nuclear power will not stop them. So I'm very clear.
My brother.
Yeah, please, my brother. Thank you. So what I'm clear is this: we need to focus on really awakening the people on the continent to know their rights in their local language. A lot of people, there are scientists in villages, but because they're not allowed to express themselves in the language, they consider to be worthless people. They don't speak English. They don't speak French. They don't speak. But they are supremely intelligent. They can look on the soil and tell you what's going to happen in the next week because they know. These are the kind of skills that we need to bring back to life. You see? So for me, it is about connecting our people to the soil, letting us exercise our powers of sovereignty over African land once again. That has been stripped from us. And until we can get that done, and the key to do that is we are numbers. We live in large communities on the African continent. That's where the greatest success you can see on any African continent is where you see large population. The kingdoms thrive. So we need to really be connecting to what is working. And all of that is linked again to the cycle of the moon, following nature. There are certain things that they will suddenly change. They will say, okay, this season they're changing what they're growing on this particular area. They're going to move it to somewhere else. There are certain lands that are sacred. There is reason for that because it's a spiritual connection. You see, this is deeper than just these colonials don't understand. These Arabs and the Europeans don't understand the connection. We are the soil. The soil is us.
Exactly.
So the work that needs to be done is deeper than just somebody coming and saying, oh no, you're a democracy. Oh no, you have to. No, we need to reconnect with our ancestors and our land and then begin to actually replenish this earth. We have to.
Now, we definitely need to do that. I like Professor Lumumba.
Yeah, Professor
Lumumba.
Yes, Lumumba. Yes.
The brother he's really smart.
Yes, he is. He is.
And like what you just said, we need to reconnect. If we can get the brothers to all start trying to reconnect to Mother Earth. We're from the ground. We're created from the ground.
Yeah.
Our DNA is from the ground.
Yeah.
And so, where I'm at, my region, I talk to people, but everyone, minds are so close. Their minds are so hung up in this Western understanding. And I have a hard time getting people to turn into programs like what you have yourself. And there's a lot of programs that's on TikTok. But they're not hitting the spot.
Yeah.
Not meaning to rhyme.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. Yes. It's and that comes when the fact that you're saying that is the connection that is really speaking through you in that way, and that's the vibration right there that we're trying to really link, and I can feel that. And what we're saying, what you're saying is correct, but what all I can only suggest is that we just have to give this thing time. Those of us who are deeper in that knowledge, or I mean, you're definitely more knowledgeable me of this more than I am. I'm just beginning to learn a few things, and that I'm being guided by the ancestors in many respects. Oftentimes when I do this show, I really follow what I'm being told to really, deliver, and then of course take it from there. But we need to just give time a little bit to some, and some people maybe just point a few things out and then it will become apparent. But there is definitely a shift. I'm sure you agree with me. There is definitely a shift in the consciousness of Africans around the world. There is something that's going on. There is something that, you cannot have this amount of people. When I go on platforms, even though I don't agree with what they're talking about, they can be talking about religion, and I get turned off by that because it's not really about religion. This is deeper than that. Right. It's about the It's about the connecting with your ancestors, knowing what when they're doing the spirituality. What does it signify? Do you connect to it? If you can forget, I know my ancestors. In my name, God of Iron is in my name, Ogundimu, which means the God of Iron is holding me. These are things that people need to understand. Our names are so important. They're not just any name. So when you're an African and you are taking on an European name, you are losing your spirit. You are literally losing your spirit. I don't mean to be offensive, but this is again. So there is more to it, but I don't want to but I'm really glad that we connected. I'm going to be following you right away. I think I've got a lot to learn from you, my brother. I'm really glad that you connected, and I think I'm following you already. So throw me an invite.
Well,
Yes, go ahead.
I came on your show with the nickname 49.
Yes.
Neck 49.
Yes.
That's a nickname that came to me when I was a kid.
Ah.
But when I became knowledgeable of self, my name was changed. Nimrod preacher by Ben Israel. And so my journey is to reunite our people. We are the people of the earth. And I listen at different shows to see if someone can mention how these different shades of people came about. But when it comes to telling the real deal, it's hard to get people to bring it out. I can bring it out, but I won't. Because it says that we ought to respect this show that we're speaking on, and we don't want to step on people's toes. We don't want to make enemies. We don't want to be cutting off the air.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, my brother, keep on doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
I love those pictures behind you.
Thank you. Yes. That's exactly it. I mean, I'm just, for me, there is no one single day I find out a thing about it, and I'll come and talk about it, and I raise the awareness. That's what we need to do. You see, what we're doing when we speak their name into the ether, we are raising the vibration. It is that simple. When we're raising that vibration, it's going to get so powerful. Anybody that tries to break that vibration, good luck, is all I'm saying.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right then, my brother.
Thank
I'm
you.
Say shalom.
Yes.
And,
Ashe.
until I see you again.
Yes. Great talking to you.
All right.
We'll see you real soon. Yeah. Take care. Thank you so much.
Shalom.
Thanks.
Shalom.
Okay. Shalom. Sorry. Yes. Let us go to Don Josh. I really enjoy that. To be honest, I'm sensing that my brother Neck 49 has got a much deeper knowledge than I know. I can sense it, and I want to talk to him one-on-one privately, because that's how you learn. There's a saying in my culture: "Tí ọmọdé bá fẹ́ kọ́gbọ́n, ó máa jókòó sí ẹsẹ̀ àgbà." When a child wants to learn about life, he sits at the feet of the elder. Neck 49 is that elder. Salute. So let's go to Don Josh. What would you like to say? Welcome on board. Let's hear from you. Don Josh, can you unmute? Okay. Thank you. Yes, go ahead. Thank you, CitizenAY. Thank you. It's been a while. Yes, it's been a while, Don Josh. Yes, my brother. Yes, I know. Wow, I love this conversation. Thank you. Bringing it's awakening the spirit of our ancestors back again. Ashe. What most Africans don't really understand is that Africa were the only people that were in one with nature. The European came with industrialization and destroy all our forests, destroy all our environment, pollute all our water, pollute everything. Now, CitizenAY, they are coming to meet us and tell us about global warming. What concerns Africa with global warming? Exactly. In fact, all African leaders should not even go to any invite for global warming. We don't need to. African problem. We don't need to. People that started industrial revolution are supposed to pay the war in big check. Exactly. Imagine company like. Thank you for those of you. Mention their name. Yes, I know what you mean. The host COP 20. COP 21. You know the company. I don't want to mention their name. This one will bring down your account. Okay. Yeah. Those are the people that are supposed to solve our global warming. Well, let me take a touch on the topic. The major problem of Africa right now, you have already said it, most Africans are operating on a very low frequency. Some are still sleeping. They are not even aware of what is happening. And the major issue that we have with most Africans are those marginalized Africans. Yes. Indeed.
Not the ones in the continent. The one outside the shore of the continent. The one in America, the one in UK, the one scattered in the Caribbean, the one in Europe.
Yep. Absolutely.
Africa biggest issue. And that is why Africa is still like this.
Well said.
CitizenAY,
Yes.
I love using the Chinese as an example.
Yes, go ahead.
Look at the Chinese. Look at how they operate. Anywhere the Chinese find themselves, they try to look for their brothers in that locality. There's a different case for Africa. They want to show that I am more marginalized African than you. Instead of them identifying themselves as African, you see a black, brown skin, chocolate, African, saying that I am an American, I'm Spanish, I'm Arab, and but look at this person, he's black, thick black skin person, but he's identifying himself in another group. So that is where Africa's biggest problem is. That's why we cannot unite, we can't come together.
Okay.
And I love using the Chinese example. They build a kind of a community-based, global community-based society. You see in Nigeria here, there's a place called Chinese Town. Not only in Nigeria, all over the world. Global, all over the world. There's Chinese town everywhere. Or scattered all over the country. That if a Chinese citizen find himself in that locality or geopolitical location, if you can locate the Chinese town, he can have access to funds. There's a Chinese bank in the town. We have access to shelter. There's Chinese hotel in that town. We have access to food. There's a Chinese restaurant in that town.
Indeed.
And if he wants to buy clothes or any grocery or any necessity, there's a Chinese mall in that town. So Chinese build this global, they build this geopolitical community where they don't lose their brothers and they don't lose their identity. And they don't lose their culture as well. That's why I love the Chinese so much. And if you look and study their history, it's because they could come together. They could come in alignment together with the elite as well. Saw the need to develop their people.
Exactly.
That is why all of us, we are envying Chinese today. And they are fast growing because of what? They are united. There's unity among them. From their elites to the people. But it's a different case in Africa. Our elites, they don't fund anything called African development or African advancement. What they spend their money on is European things. What they can buy, as many things they can buy. Example is one person in Kogi State. What he does in Instagram all the time, showing us a split of cars. Tell me, how will Nigeria develop? What kind of behavior?
It's
our major challenge is that our elites are still doing business with the European elites, just as the slavery.
Exactly.
When this, just as what happened with the slavery, where our elites collaborate with the European elite and start selling our brothers and sisters to the America and to the Caribbean. So it's still the same business they are doing. Just that it has changed. Now they are trading our resources on the ground. Our human resources, our intellectual, our skills. They are trading them for the European and America. Our best doctors, our best engineers, our best specialists are all working for the Europeans. Nobody cares about Africa. So it's the same business, CitizenAY. So the solution is that if we all can be awoken and unite together and to destroy the Europeans, they understand this. That's why they don't want to ever want us to unite. That's why they perpetrate tribalism, perpetrate conflict, perpetrate like what's happening in the Congo right now. Congo will have been the Wall Street of Africa.
Exactly.
Because they produce all our technology from the phones, laptop,
exactly,
to the our PS, PlayStation, Xbox, all the electronic gadgets, raw material is in Congo. So we are seeing the situation happening in Congo right now. The conflict that is going on, all perpetuation of the West and America.
It is. It very much is.
I don't want to ever see us unite. Like the situation in Nigeria right now, tribalism.
Yes.
Why is the Igbo man hating the Hausa man? Why is the Hausa man? Why is the Fulani man hating the Hausa man? They are hating the Fulani man. Sorry. So it's still the same business they are doing. They don't want to ever see us unite because they understand that they will unite. We are going to destroy this system that they created for us.
My brother, what do you see as the way out?
So,
how can we unite? What do you think? How can we? What's the solution then, as you see it? Just out of interest.
The solution is simple. It's not something. It's not a secret hidden under the rock. It's not rocket science.
No.
Or it's not a space science. It's simple. Our brothers and sisters in Africa, both the ones outside the continent of Africa, we need to come and unite.
Yes.
Because the more we unite, the more we'll be able to destroy the system. What we are fighting, don't get me wrong, what we are fighting is not the Europeans and America. It would be foolish of me to say that we should go and fight them. But
we don't need to.
Where is the weapon that we have?
We don't need to fight. No, we don't need to fight. We don't need to fight them.
We don't even have all the warheads.
You know,
we don't even manufacture weapon yet.
Can I say something?
So
yeah, go ahead. I'll chip in afterwards. Go ahead.
So the best way to destroy this system.
Yeah, go ahead.
CitizenAY, just for we to unite.
Okay. I can hear that. I hear that. And it is, I mean, I think more even in terms of cooperation, because we are already, spiritually we are united, because we all recognize something is wrong. So it's cooperation that I think we're looking for to enhance that unity, to make it more productive, and to really, to make us really be able to tune in and take back what is ours from, in our continent. It's not about waiting for somebody else. But you're right. So
No.
So, but
and again, CitizenAY.
Yeah.
My major problem, like especially in Nigeria, the Nigerian professionals don't want to align with the people. They are always aligned with the elite, both the political class and the business class.
That's because
of always neglecting the people. For this unity, for this unity, and for we to destroy this system, for the Nigerian professionals to align with the people, open the people wide. Journalists, let them start telling the people the real truth, what's really going on. Let them stop spreading fake news all over the media. Let them stop distracting us. Celebrity.
Yes.
Imagine Nigeria is in a big mess. All what our journalists are saying is BB Nigeria, CitizenAY. How can BB Nigeria solve our problem?
No. Wow. Yeah. You're right. So, You're right.
So the media has a larger role to play.
They do. No, thank you very much for that. Thank you for your suggestions. And we need to, one of the things I hope you are aware, we are doing a program. What part of Nigeria are you from? Are you in Lagos, or are you um, in the east?
I reside in Lagos.
Okay, good. Don't just, of course, I remember now. Yeah, remember I talked to you. I spoke to you about having a constitution in local languages and things, and how they can use that to change the mindset through awareness. And we're looking for stakeholders like yourself to help raise that awareness. Let me show you something quickly that I would like to leave you with, because the best way we can change.
Yes, you said you would send the PDF file to me.
I,
So I haven't sent it.
I sent you the link for the website, so you can pick it up from there, because I cannot send it on. I cannot send. Yeah, I'll send you the link again for the constitution. But I'm going to show you what I'm about to put out briefly in due course. That it is in Yoruba language, because we want our people, and whatever language that you have, we need you to. What is your mother tongue? What language do you speak, for example, aside from Yoruba?
Well, me, I'm a complete African fan.
No, but your
My dad is from Nigeria and my mom is from the Republic of Benin.
Oh, that's Yoruba. You are you are both Yoruba and both. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. I understand Yoruba better.
Okay. So let me just show you. So this is what I'm looking at for the people in our communities to know their rights. Nigeria, Yoruba. So I picked out the key areas that they will need to begin to understand, and they have sovereignty, they have authority, they have power, and they can hold their government to account by participating in their governance through monthly town hall meetings. So these are written in those ways, and we are looking to make sure that we will need stakeholders to go in and explain this to them, and walk through how they can use those powers, in their language, in their local language. So that is what we mean, that we need to share this, spread this across into all communities. And that is a practical thing that we can do. What I'm saying is that anything that for us now, we need to have a solution ready that we can actually take and run with in all our communities. That is so important right now, because before we've spoken, and no, action is what we need, and critically empowering our people on ground. Thank you very much, Nature Lover. We're still working on that, but what that book is ready for Yoruba people now, right now, to be using in the communities. What we're trying to do, again, this is why I talk about people. If you want to donate to the PayPal, it is linked to the bio. When you go onto my page, you'll see the bio. There's a PayPal there. Donate, because we will be using that to print this document and to teach those stakeholders to go into those areas and actually make it work, and tell the community. Because what must happen now is there is no teach our children exactly. So I'll come to you next, Nature Lover. So we need to begin to do that. But I'm really grateful for your comments, Don Johnson, and I'm going to send you that link again in terms of the website. But this one is just something I've just done now, and I really want to promote that so that people are aware. And I want it to be in all languages, not just Yoruba language. The Igbos must have one. Hausas, Fulani, and in other countries, they need to have similar things so that the people will know their constitution in their language. That is a must. That is what must happen. That is what has been missing in the. I couldn't believe it when I found out that in all 54 countries, we were suffering from exactly the same lack of information in local languages. Astonishing. But it is there, and now we have the way to fix it. So I think we'll go with that. But Don Josh, let me pause for a minute. I'll go to Nature Lover. Nature Lover, thank you for waiting. Let's hear from you. What would you like to say, my brother? Go ahead.
The topic is what? I saw some. What is what on this one?
Yes, we're talking about. Let me just quickly show you. I'll show you quickly. It's on here. They are trying to open up. So here you go. Puppet leader agrees to U.S. base in Ivory Coast. So you see South Africa, you see U.S. flag, you see France flag, and Ivory Coast has been squeezed and forced in the middle to agree to the imposition of a U.S. military base on African soil. an abomination in my view. But what would you like to say about that? What would you like to say? Let's hear from you.
So much. Thank you.
Thank you.
For the word.
Thank you.
Well, Cote d'Ivoire, I live in some of the Cote d'Ivoire, and I think I live with those kind of people who always, I mean, they Cote d'Ivoire, the one I encountered so far,
yeah,
they love the France more than themselves.
Yeah.
And they even trust the France more than the people who give them to them.
Oh boy.
But one thing I want to tell them is that days they are going to set people. I want to be one and for sure to tell them that if they think their leader is the best and they don't act and they sit down and think that, oh, with all these protests that America and France are bringing there, they are safe.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, let the rain start falling.
Yeah.
And you will see, we are not praying. If the rain is coming, they will be the first people the rain will fall on. I'm telling you, mark down.
It's true. It's true.
They know that. Let me tell you, I'm not lying. I just see in my spirit that if these people allow these people to take any war against these three are television, let me tell you, that Cote d'Ivoire will turn into flames within the village. I'll tell you. And when the Cote d'Ivoire turns into flames, their president will take his flight to France.
Yeah.
But the
Quatara.
Yes. The citizens to think, where will they also go to?
It's true. It's true.
What people supposed to take this serious and they have to demonstrate with the president that this is unacceptable because that president is not for Cote d'Ivoire.
No, absolutely not. It's not.
If they keep quiet, Benin Republic, they are also there.
Yes. I heard about that as well. You know, I heard about that. Akebulan Kabiru, thank you so much. Yeah, go ahead.
So, but the Cote d'Ivoire president is the worst among all of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this is the message I tell them. Why do you let your own neighbor, even intermarry, why do you do that?
Yeah.
This Cote d'Ivoire president has been causing a lot of harm to the West Africa, and people don't take note about it.
No.
Even the ECOWAS, that guy is more powerful than anything.
Yeah.
He's the one, any ECOWAS leader tries to do anything. He's the one dumping and spoiling everything.
Exactly. We need to call all of these people out. We need to call them out. We really need to call them out because it's just.
Do you know that the ECOWAS money, the ECOWAS, the one currency block, it is this same Alawatara who destroyed that currency. I'm coming out.
Wow.
Now, this same Ouattara is the one that will fire up World War III in Africa. I'm telling you. Why?
Yeah.
I mean, if you can talk to people in your panel, if you have got important people, try to mobilize them, try to talk to them, be serious about this case. I'm telling you. Because one thing is that right now, Wagner is also backing these three countries.
Yeah.
So now, if you think Russia will leave these people when they try to fire anything in Sahel?
Yeah.
Do you know what is going to happen?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, they don't even know what's coming. Ivory Coast, they don't know what's coming. They don't know. This is, I don't even want to, yeah, they don't know what's coming.
I'm just question. I'm not afraid of death. I'm not breathing, but I'm talking about what is coming.
Yeah.
It's real, and it's not a joke.
No, it's not. At all.
Cote d'Ivoire will be wiped out from the map. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
They should better, I mean, do something if they really love their country.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true.
The
It's
military
true.
in that way is not supposed to act.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't sit down and let one person the whole of West Africa.
No. It's true.
You know, I don't know what some people follow the Russia Ukraine war. This war they are starting to Ukraine or whatever.
Yeah.
Anytime Russia, we all know Russia is they love war. Those people don't care.
No.
I'm telling you.
Mm.
They are not people you play with.
Yeah.
Even the American people know who Russia are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now you for the what is allowing this to happen. They do as long as that Russia says they're going to protect Ibrahim Traore, and you are going there, do you know what you are talking with?
Yeah. Yeah. It's yeah. We they better wake up fast. They better wake up.
If what the what people are in the panel believe start talking to them and let them go through so that they can act fix with this thing. I'm telling you.
Yes.
If not, they don't have country anymore.
No.
Even though it will affect some of us, but
Yes.
they don't have country. I'm telling you.
No. 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 It's
And
true.
the other one is the Benin Republic. You also tell them that.
Yes. Yes. We need to. Yeah. Benin Republic. I mean, I'm really surprised that they even well I shouldn't be because they're French speaking, so they yeah.
But I think in your panel, I think if people come, they know how to.
Yeah.
You can ask anybody who knows how to. And then
Yeah. Exactly.
And then they can forward the case. I mean, we are all helping each other to spread the news.
Exactly. Exactly. It is. That's what we're doing. So, but how do you I guess what I wanted to ask you is, do you, by the actions of Ouattara, they're showing that he's definitely showing us that he's a puppet now, and those are the kind of leaders that we need to have that an intellectual realignment take place in the land by the people of those countries, obviously, because what happened is they tried to call it coup. We call it intellectual realignment because that's what they've done. They just said no. We don't want France taking our resources anymore. We want it for ourselves, and we're going to put a stop to this. And that's what we need. I mean, in Ivory Coast, they got diamond, they got gold, and that is why France is there, and that's why US is there. I mean, and it's crazy.
They have everything.
It's crazy.
The citizens need to act. In fact, we should not be afraid.
No. Yes.
We should never. The first defeat of a man is cowardness.
Exactly. Exactly.
You are afraid, let me tell you can never defeat anything.
Exactly.
I'm telling you.
No, we can't.
Even though they are killing your brothers, take them and put them aside and keep moving.
Exactly. Exactly.
Tell me, I mean, you, brother,
Yeah.
You know how this country was built.
Yes.
It was not built on just by just time like that.
No. No.
You cannot get freedom just like that.
No.
You have to fight for freedom.
Exactly. Exactly.
Why are we afraid? Why are we scared of? If I die today, some of my people will come.
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
What is wrong?
This is what we are saying now. When it comes to African continent, it should not even be a question now. We're not talking about going to another continent. We're talking about the oppression in our continent coming to an end. We have to support the men who are behind. The men behind me, we support Ibrahim Traore, Assimi Goïta, General Chiani, all of them. We make sure that everything they need. And some people are already in those countries going there to support. And we need that. And they need to be... Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. What we don't know is, are they even allowing soldiers like to train? Are they recruiting soldiers?
I'm sure they are, but I mean, I think they are. I'm sure they are.
Because I mean, they should have opened a voluntary, like any youth of Africa who want to fight in case there is a war. I mean, they can go there and then they train them and they go back to their various countries.
Yes.
And in case any attack is coming,
then
those people can come and then supply the ship and then get going.
I'm sure they have some plans in the way, but you know how it is. It's not going to be what's the word? It's not going to be something they will talk about openly, which rightly so,
Exactly.
you know. And you know, yeah.
You may have to do within before you know about it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
but that is supposed to be. I mean, like we need to know about it. Whoever wants to volunteer and join, will join. I don't care if you do that. If I don't.
It's true.
If I can take all my children, my 5-year-old, I will train my 5-year-old with a gun, and we will fight to the last of us.
Yeah, this is what this.
Who even told you that? Who even told you that death is a bad thing?
Yeah.
Death is not a bad thing. Whether you fight or you don't fight, you're gonna die.
Exactly.
Why you are
Exactly. Exactly.
It's better you should rather fight for your life. If you die in it, I think the African ancestors will receive you welcome things. I'm telling you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's true. It's true.
Who told you that when you fight this cause, this kind of cause, if you die in the process of this cause, it's not a bad thing.
It's
because
not.
We are not going to fight anybody in anybody's life.
No.
We are defending ourselves
On our own continent. Exactly.
If you die in the process of defending your own country or your own country, what is the bad thing about it?
No. No.
Other people do, and they are still doing it.
Exactly. Exactly. Indeed. 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 So no, my brother, actually, so we need to raise the awareness, like you're saying, nature lover. We have to continue, and we have to tell our people, you know, time to really come together. We must protect Alliance of Sahel states at all costs. Do everything necessary. Social media, on ground, spiritually, you know, talk about them, raise awareness in the community to, you know, when we see this. That's why we're keeping an eye on Ivory Coast and Benin. We see anything, we say it. We wake for people up. Let them know what's going on. But thank you so much, Nature Lover, my brother. Let me speak to Adiremi. Welcome on board, Adiremi. You've been waiting. And Alkebulan, if you're still there, I'd love to have you. I'm sorry the network was a bit bad. I didn't see. I just saw that you sent an invite now, and it seemed to have cleared. But I tried to throw you one again, it wouldn't work. But Adiremi, go ahead. Let's hear from you.
Hi, it's a pleasure being here again.
Fantastic. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes. What would you like to say?
I've been missing you alive. I've been writing some poetry.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. Is there anything you want to share with us a little bit?
This one is called.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this one is called Awakened Lions of.
Go ahead. You're coming in and out. You're coming in and going. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Go ahead. Yes, go ahead. Yes.
Okay, titled Awakened Lions of Africa.
Ashe, Ashe, Ashe.
Hold on, let me turn on the Bluetooth.
Yeah, if you can turn off the Bluetooth and speak directly, maybe it'll be clear because it sounds a bit muffled. I want to hear it.
No, I had turned off the Bluetooth earlier.
Oh, okay.
So that's why it was doing. It goes like this.
Okay. Go ahead.
Awaken Lions of Africa.
Ashe.
Africa's been sleeping for far too many years, not being aware of the real value of all her lustrous wares. The West, they came running with greed in their heart and a Bible in their hands, begging to be able to do nothing but pan.
Ashe.
The West, they have robbed us all that we own, using our gold to adorn their crowns and their thrones. We woke up one day and said, no, you can't stay. Our people are needing a way better way.
Ashe.
You can't stay. Now, go away.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Okay, and the last part says, the West says we're hungry and our bodies are sore, whilst digging and stealing our minerals galore. Leave us alone or this lion will roar.
Ashe. Ashe.
We are not giving you all our minerals and oil no more.
Ashe. Ashe.
Africans re-roar.
Ashe.
Now leave us alone and watch us while we soar.
Ashe. Wow. Such an inspiring oratory. Wow. Wow. I got to do something that I haven't done yet. I should have done it before. Let me see. I need to do something right quick just to, because that deserves an applause right there. I hope I've got it. I'm trying to, yeah, good. It deserves an applause right there. Right there. Right there. Right there. Wow. One more. That is awesome. Adiremi. Oh, wow. Please make sure you keep that. And send it out and put your name on it, and I'll share it on the platform. I'll share it because it's powerful. Sorry?
I would love for the school children
Go ahead.
and sing it like a.
Oh, you're coming in and out. Say that again, please.
I would love for the school to learn it.
Yes,
and sing like a round.
That's it. That's what I mean. That's why it's got to be shared. So I'd like to have it, and I'll definitely be putting on when I'm doing my broadcast. Is something we can actually put up and actually, with your name on it and everything, because this is exactly the words in there are just what is needed to that energy. Enough. We're tired of people coming. We're just tired of people coming to our land, taking our resources and telling us stories and saying we should accept it and telling us to do kumbaya and all that nonsense. Nah, no. You better be worried about our role. I'm so glad that you share that with us, and thank you for sharing that with us on this platform. I'm really grateful for that. No, awesome. Yes, let me quickly do something. I'll come back to you again if you're still around and if you're still here. Let me quickly do something. I want to just say a quick thank you to somebody. Somebody who's an anonymous donor gave £200 to the Rescue Africans from Enslavement in Arab countries. I want to thank them so much. I share. So that happened today, and we've been sharing it. You can go and see it. It's on there. So that, and I didn't really even know. I was not really looking because I've been trying to promote it and everything else. We need the help. The ladies that you see, if you click on these videos here, you will see certain things going on about the men. This one, for example, it won't let me show. Yeah, this one, for example, when you play that, let me just play that.
Hi there, welcome to CitizenAY, the platform.
Let us just listen for a few minutes, then I'll come to you.
Please follow, like, share to 5 to 10 people, please. Very, very important. You're looking at the picture that's scrolling up behind me, and it is of an Arab man. I blurred his hand. You see, it's with his hand, but I blurred it so you won't see exactly what's happening. And he's tied up. The man that you see in the front, you see they've got a cloth. He's covered the mouth of the African man. So he's lifted his hand to try and hit him. There's a video. I'm not going to show the video because they will take it down on TikTok. And behind him, there is a black man sitting down on the floor, made to watch as the Arab man is beating his fellow African. This is what colonials do. This is being done in 2024. So when you are saying that you are a Muslim as an African, and you're saying that you're a Muslim, this is what those, the Arabs, that's how they view you. They view you as their slave. The same way that the Christians were beating and, abusing black Africans in front of other slaves and men and women and children to show that they are dominant. That is what this man is doing. He is beating and he has no right This is dehumanization of our Cableland people. And it is something that we must totally reject. Totally reject it. This is why I keep saying to us as Africans, we need to wake up. Islam or Christianity is not part of who we are. I cannot show you the video. The man, you see in that picture, in the video that I'm seeing, the black man is having to spin around to try and get away from being whipped. But he's whipping him with this pipe, like a pipe. And then he ends up on the floor in a heap, crying. Crying. And the man that's on the floor, the black man on the floor, look at the black man on the floor, the African man, or our Cableland man on the floor. He's sitting there in panic. Absolute panic and fear of what is going to befall him. Is he going to be next at the hands of this Arab man whose religion that you so believe in? You can see the similarities between Christianity was saying that slaves obey thy master. Islam is saying the same thing. I'm just pointing this out so we understand exactly what has been done. It is time for us to wake up. It really is time for us to wake up as people and stop following these religions that are enslaving our minds and also physically enslaving us. It is really important that when you get this broadcast, of course, follow, like, share, send to 5 to 10 people. We need to wake up. Like I said, I'm not going. If I show the video on TikTok, they will take it down. But I'm showing you. You will see there. This is terribly wrong for an Cableland person to be treated in this manner in 2024. In 2024, and I just wanted to put this out so we can start understanding what's going on. This is so wrong. So wrong. What are your thoughts on this? How do you view this as an So I'm going to post it there. I still even feel emotional right now watching that, because for somebody to tie up an African man, to tie them up, and then use a pipe and be beat, and they're in fear. This happens in Libya. This happens in Saudi Arabia. This happens in the Arab world. This is why this GoFundMe is up. We need to get our people back home and get them treated and rehabilitate them through using the awful knowledge to raise awareness in our community, plus letting them teach our community about the constitution in the local language, because that way we can put a stop to this falsehood that we're being sold, that everything is great in Arab world, everything great in the West, when actually the greatness is actually in Africa, on the African continent. They are taking the resources from Africa. So I want to thank the anonymous donor. I want to thank them so much. And thank you very much, Aderemi, for sharing it. Please tap and share. And you can watch it. There are more videos like that on there, and I'll be sharing more daily. There's a lot more videos on that donation link. So we try and give updates. But I'm really grateful, and I'm going to write a statement on that to thank the anonymous donor. I think this is great. And we are going to, this is a great start. We need this to continue, because our people, there are women right now in Iraq that are being raped. They are put in jail. They were tricked to go to Iraq to do hotel work, as in cleaning and working as a hotel staff. And then they made into domestic slaves and being thrown around, being whipped, being, there's a lady, I'm going to show the video of that next, with her jaw swollen. She was pushed down the stairs or something, and they wouldn't let her go to hospital to get treatment. They wouldn't pay for that. I mean, it's just so wrong. So
To the anonymous donor, thank you so much. This money will do a lot, and we're looking for more donors. We want this to really, continue to spread and share. Let people know about this rescue Africans from enslavement in Arab countries. It's really, really important. The funds are there. We will take it when the time comes. Of course, we want to build the funds as much as we can and start helping. There's a girl who's actually, I played her voice, and she is in desperate need to get back home. Her grandma passed away, and her son, unfortunately, she needs help. And she's in a situation where she's very, very scared, and there are others who are begging, and literally begging when they play the video, and they please help me. It's harrowing. Men and women. Men and women. And look, this Kenyan woman, there's a Kenyan woman there. And that's because we've been prevented from knowing that we are sovereigns in our land. So you see, this is why it's important that we talk about the constitution in local languages and raise that awareness in the communities. Those of you on YouTube, you won't be able to see that. I'll probably do another show with the YouTube. Actually, you'll see it as I do it, and I might show. What I'll do is I'll play this video again on YouTube in its entirety from the TikTok. That way you can see the whole thing again. But you're hearing what we're saying, and we're grateful. Oh, my earphone is missing my ear. Oh, okay. Oh, I know. Yeah. I just want to be able to. I know I could, but I want to, in case I'm just doing it. I can hear everything. I'm trying to just communicate. So, yes. So please let us do that. Now let us go to the main issue, and I'll come back again. Please tap and share. We welcome gifts and donations. Everything that you do when you donate to the platform, it allows you to continue to do the work we're doing and raising awareness, and to be able to help others, and bring information to communities that don't know their rights. It is really important. So your support is greatly appreciated. So when you tap and you gift, everybody gifting, we are grateful. Continue to do so, and we really, really do appreciate everything that you do in support of this platform and the awareness that we're bringing. We appreciate your support, and we need that to continue. We'd love to reach more people. Now, to go to the power of three, like Linda says, and I'll bring her in. I'm still having issues with this in terms of bringing everybody in when I'm doing the live broadcast. It's a bit of a problem, but we will get there. I'm just trying to see if I can find a way to bring the moderators in. I tried to do that, but it's not letting me. I will set up something somehow in the next broadcast. I'm going to try and work that out. But be that as it may. Now let us talk about what the Ivory Coast, what they're trying to do. So let's bring that, in actually allowing US base on the Ivory Coast to now allow to make it easier for the West to attack the Alliance of Sahel States. We need to reject it. So it says here, French media reported the Ivorian government approved the construction of a U.S. base in northwestern Côte d'Ivoire as the United States withdraws and relocates from Niger. The reported base will have some practical range limitations for U.S. intelligence surveillance and reconnaissance drones compared to the previous base in northern Niger. The new base risks fomenting a popular anti-Western backlash against Ivorian government and United States. You see, they risk it. They know. They are testing the waters. The risk, it says, the new base risks fomenting a popular anti-Western backlash against Ivorian government and the United States. So they know already that what they're doing is wrong. They don't have the right to be putting bases. The U.S. should keep their base in the U.S. Stay out of Africa. Stay out of Africa. This is really what is going on. We are so tired of this interjection and interference in Africa by the West. We say no more. We say no more. This is so wrong, totally unacceptable. And we are calling on the Ivorian people to speak to the government, because that's what the Nigerian people did with President Tinubu. They told him, under no circumstances do we want the U.S. base in Nigeria. So they had to go and relocate to where? To relocate to Ivory Coast. And we are hearing Benin is also supporting them. These are puppets selling out their fellow Africans and wanting to. This is one of the reasons why we're justified in calling for the for Africans to work together and remove the puppets who are working for the interests of the colonials on the African continent. The puppets are working for the interest of colonials on the African continent against Africans who owns those resources. This is the reality of what we are saying. This is what we are saying, and we are calling on everybody to please wake up and support. It's very, very important. Please continue to gift the platform, and thank you very much for the gifts. We appreciate those of you watching and following, and we really appreciate your support, and we are grateful for the gifts and the donations, and also those of you on TikTok. Thank you for the thumbs up and for the like, and we welcome super chats on YouTube as well, and TikTok. We are very, very grateful. Well, let me read on. Before I wrap up, we'll be rounding up in the next 10 to 15 minutes, and we'll play out with our song "How Long Una Go Dey Suffer." So now, the new base risks fomenting popular Western backlash against the Irish government and the United States. So they know that. At least they know that people are awake. That is confirmation. That statement alone confirms that many Africans are awake and now know they're resisting this. And we support every Ivorian that is rejecting this. They have our total support. They have our total support because they don't want their land to be used to attack their fellow Africans. Let us call it out for what it is. And we are supporting that. So if you're watching this on YouTube, please share this. The Ivorians, thankfully, we are hearing that they are not in support of this base, the US base on their soil, particularly as they know it's going to be used as a place to go and attack the alliance of Sahel states. Please share this information. Let it reach as many people as possible. Let's carry on. Okay. Yes, please go ahead, Nature Lover. Go ahead. Let's hear from you.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I can't believe this. To be honest with you, this is so dangerous.
Yes.
You see, this is the same thing Ukraine did. What is just happening to Ukraine is what Cote d'Ivoire is just. Cote d'Ivoire is just exactly like the way Ukraine is living. If they don't know, they should better know right now.
Yes, they better know.
Let me tell you, what is happening in Ukraine is not what Ukraine is. The Ukraine citizens don't know anything about that.
No.
But it is their leaders who do everything with this Western.
Indeed.
And now, look at, because Russia is your neighbor.
Yes.
Why would you allow them to start building biolab?
Exactly.
Are they closer to them? And that is the same thing.
Yes, it is.
You are you are the neighbor to Burkina Faso. And you are allowing these people to be building these things in your area.
Yes.
Just closer to your neighbor. You see what is happening? I'm saying, we Africans, we learn. Even the things are always clear.
Yes.
But why are we behaving like we are stupid?
No, it's really time to learn for us to learn and actually grow. It really is not acceptable any longer. This is really terrible.
Assuming Russia tried to build a nuclear weapon around Mexico, do you think the United States will allow that?
No way. You see, in the US, this is the funny thing. The US will say there's a doctrine. They call it the Monroe Doctrine. That means that they will not allow a superpower to build anything close to them in their territory. And they are coming to break this, to flaunt and disregard that same principle on the African continent. This is so wrong on so many levels. This is so wrong. So wrong. I mean,
and they are calling themselves they are democratic.
They're not democratic. They are not democratic at all because they're using force. They're using force in a land that doesn't belong to them. They cause wars on other people's territories, and then they walk away from it. And that we are democratic. There's nothing democratic about that process. This is exploitation. And they need to leave our continent alone. We are tired of the exploitation. They must leave our continent alone. We're tired of the constant exploitation.
No, the Cote d'Ivoire will suffer more than even the Burkina and all those people.
Exactly. Exactly.
Let me tell you, Burkina did not attack Cote d'Ivoire.
No.
They understand that. But Burkina know that Cote d'Ivoire is their neighbor.
Yes.
They are their brothers and they are their sisters.
Exactly.
That's why Burkina is never a threat to Cote d'Ivoire.
No.
Why should you go and bring these people?
Exactly. Exactly. It's
Let me tell you, why I see Cote d'Ivoire, the way I see Cote d'Ivoire inside my eyes, they don't understand what is coming. They don't understand.
Well, that's why we're calling on the people. We are going over the puppet's head now to the people and calling them, please, fellow Ivorians, please send the message out to all your politicians. Tell them in no uncertain terms must they do anything in your name. They must not go and allow the US to use your country to attack Alliance of Sahel States, because they are sullying your name. They're dragging you through the mud if you allow that to happen. You must all join hands and stop and put a stop to it and tell your government, stop. You are a sovereign nation and you all collectively are sovereigns. You have the power to actually stop them. In fact, let me go and read something to you. Go ahead. Once you keep talking, I'll do something.
Another example is when Iraq allowed United States to use their backyard as a big ground for against Iran. What happened?
Exactly.
Later on, what happened? Do you see how Iran destroyed the whole Iraq? They fired their missiles in Iraq and destroyed Iraq. But Iran look at Iran today. Look at Iran has not had any problem. But they're taking ground. The Iraq who allowed the United States base there. Is it not the one they destroyed?
Exactly. This is it. This is exactly
why can't we learn?
Yeah. It's crazy. It's totally crazy.
For the white people, I'm not trying to threaten them.
Yeah.
But I'm telling them what is actually coming.
Yeah.
They should use the Iraq and Iran.
Exactly.
Where Iraq allowed the US base in their soil. What Iran did to that country.
Yes.
Destroy that country.
Exactly. So Ivorians, take note and begin to put strong pressure on the government to actually withdraw, to prevent the US from actually building the base there. They have no right. They use the Marine doctrine to prevent any other country building bases close to them. So why are they going to flout and break other people's laws and by putting a base in a sovereign nation? This is an imposition. It shows that Ivory Coast is independent, and you guys need to speak up and say we are independent and we do not want the US base on our soil to be used only for it to be used to now go and carry out attacks against Alliance of Sahel States. Well said, my brother.
But it's not even that they are going to use it.
No.
They are going to destroy their country and their people, and they will collapse everything in that country.
Indeed.
Because listen to if they don't understand. This is what is happening in Ukraine.
Exactly.
When Russia is firing, do they fire in Europe?
No way.
No, they are destroying Ukraine. Ukraine is now destroyed.
Exactly. This is very good point, my brother. Very good point, Nature Lover. Very good point. It's very, very important. Very, very important. And
it's not just going forward only for the war.
No.
Those people that are also accepting France bases and all that around
exactly.
Africa.
Benin.
Also part of this
Benin.
We are talking.
Yeah.
We are just not talking about only Cote d'Ivoire.
Exactly. Benin. All of them, they'll be put on notice.
Exactly.
It's not right.
They should remember that even the Sahel region,
yes,
they are not fighting themselves.
No.
These people, when there is anything happen, let me tell you, they will be surprised that people come from other neighbor countries. Remember,
exactly.
These people, some people went to Ibrahim Traore and told them that if any other country attack them, they will support them.
Yes, indeed.
Even I think Cuba went there and they told them.
Exactly.
So what they are doing there, they don't even know what they are doing there, right?
Okay. No.
That's what I'm saying.
No.
If they don't understand, I don't want to talk all the things that
No.
this Ibrahim Traore and then Assimi Goita and then Nani.
Yes.
What they plan and their alliance, the alliance that they have.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, let them fight this country and they will see what they have never seen on this planet.
Exactly.
I'm telling you.
Exactly. It's so true. It's so true. No, so true. Well said, my brother. Well said.
How can we have our West Africa? They want to come and destroy the
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
just because of you one man, you want them to destroy the whole West Africa. What kind of life is that?
Yeah. No, it is no, not acceptable. Not acceptable at all. So, just as a quick, thank you very much, Nature Lover. It is totally not acceptable. Just as a reminder to Ivorians, this is your constitution that I'm pulling up now. And it says here, the state Cote d'Ivoire recognizes the rights, freedoms, and duties set forth in this constitution. It is committed to taking all necessary measures for ensuring the effective implementation thereof. The human person is sacred. Rights of the human person is inviolable. Every person has a right for human dignity and recognition as a person before the law. I'm just reading bits of it. As a citizen, if Ivory Coast carries on with what is going with the threat of what they're planning to do, it will affect your health, your survival, because what can happen is the blowback from the retaliation. You don't want that. So you have the power to actually question them. I'm trying to get that to you now. Yeah, okay. That's it. I'm trying to key. There's a key one I wanted to show you. Let me just get that out. Let me see. I think okay, it's at the top. It's probably at the top. Let me see that then. So it says here. So safeguarding our sovereignty over national resources and ensuring all equitable management thereof for well-being of everyone. It's in your constitution. You see that? Safeguarding our sovereignty over national resources. Now, when the US comes into your country, your resources are under threat. As a citizen, you have the right to hold your government to account, to demand that they safeguard it for the well-being of everyone. So you have a right to stop them. It is in your constitution.
And this part of the constitution is supposed to be written on their flat card.
That's it.
This is who we are.
That's it.
This is what we all agree
That's
with.
it.
We don't need that. Period.
Yes,
Your
it.
message is not even too complicated.
Exactly.
This one, you just copy this one, you put it on the flat card, and you say no to that. No.
Exactly. Please share this to every Ivorian watching this. If you're an Ivorian, please watch this. We've just shared it on the screen. I'm going to bring it up. I'll show it put it on YouTube. I want you to listen to this particular word. As an Ivorian, you have a right to say no to the US coming into your country, because we know that the US, they are all about looting your resources. And in the constitution, it states safeguarding of our sovereignty over national resources and ensuring an equitable management thereof for the well-being of everyone. As a citizen, that's a sovereign, you have that right. You can tell your government no. Please, if there's any Ivorian in the house, or you know an Ivorian friend, please screenshot this and send it to them, so that they can begin to put pressure on Ouattara. Because what they're doing here, the US will take the resources. Once they have a base, they've been known to laden up trucks with minerals and just under the UN and everything else. So we don't want that. And that is a pressure enough to actually get them out. I don't know how you all feel about this. Are you all watching? How do you further? I just read something out, those of you on YouTube. And let me read it to you again, just for clarity. It says, safeguarding our sovereignty and over our national resources and ensuring an equitable management thereof for the well-being of everyone. This is what it is saying in the Constitution. Thank you very much, Israel 2K. Let me get you back in there. I'm going to follow you. Kibulan, if you're back here, I'm gonna try and bring you. I've been trying to bring you back on. Oh, Aunt Angel, thank you very much. Thank you. I need to, yeah, thank you so much. Let me just say thank you there as well. So, you can see that this is what we're saying. The president of Ivory Coast is doing something against its own constitution, because by allowing the US to come in, we already know they are about extracting the resources, and they are actually, by insisting that the president, the puppet president, allows them to have a US base, they are contravening the constitution of the land, the integrity of the land.
Yes, because we are not playing.
Exactly.
We are not playing that it will happen.
No.
But when this will happen, like I said,
yes,
the citizen will become weaker.
Exactly.
And the military will now take over. The
Exactly.
will now take over the country, resources and everything.
Exactly.
They will start looting.
This is what I'm saying. Yes.
What will even stand again?
Exactly.
You don't have nothing.
I am going to do a program on Côte d'Ivoire and Benin again. I'll do the second part of this. This time I'm going to extend it to Côte d'Ivoire and to Benin, and we'll be showing the constitution of Benin as well. The people have the power. We need people to know this. You have the power to hold your governors to account, and these are the kind of things that we need to begin to awaken our people. Again, we want this constitution to be in local languages. So if you know of people in Ivory Coast, you can get this screenshot, translate it to your local languages, so that your communities, let them know what your government is doing in their language. They will all say no. They will definitely say no, because they do not want anybody that doesn't have the right over their land to be in their land taking their resources. Because it says here, ensuring an equitable management thereof for the well-being of everyone, the national resources. You, the sovereign. You are the sovereign. Yes, my brother.
We need to actually let us know.
Yes.
Some people who are even in the diaspora, I just get so annoyed with some of them.
Yes.
These Cote people and these people, most of the African people in the diaspora.
Yeah.
I get so weak about them. The majority of them. When they come here, do you know what happens?
Yeah.
Anytime they come to Europe or America or France, because the currency is more than our currency in our various countries.
Yes, yes.
You see, anytime they see the exchange rate high in this place,
yes,
they become happy. They become happy. So one day I asked them, so you are happy that the exchange rate is high? Do you know what that means? When they rate the exchange in your country,
exactly,
your country currency is more lower.
It's more lower. Food more expensive for your people.
Exactly. And they will start calling you here.
Yes.
They will start calling you here. And
exactly.
You people are fighting each
exactly.
other. You have blood pressure and all that. This is why we are fighting here. But we feel like we forget. I don't know how the black person, some of us, we think.
Yeah.
We think because we just come to their country and get jobs.
Yeah.
They bless us.
Yeah.
These people never bless us. You think for them to allow you to come here, that's
yeah.
a blessing?
Yeah. It's not. It's not.
It is not a blessing. What is making me, okay, if I go to America and I'm working,
yeah,
do you know the kind of tax they take from me?
Exactly.
So why, if I work for Africa and that tax is taken to develop Africa, wouldn't I be happy?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me tell you, let me even add more to what you said, what you're just saying now. If you go to any offices between 5 and 6 in the evening, when they all close, every single business, you will see black people going into the offices to clean the office as cleaners. That's what we're doing in Europe, in America. So, and they take, these are the places where they will take our resources from our continent, bring it here, but we are only cleaners and carers. This is what we do. This is what. Yes.
Can you negotiate for your salary?
No way. No way. Not a chance. Forget that. Negotiating. You can't even say the word, let alone let it even, no way. It's a categorical no. They just say, no, you cannot. This is it. You take it or you go. If you don't like it, there's the door. That's what they tell you.
So, and the tax rules, they also decide how much tax they can get from you.
Yes. They determine everything. You don't have any control. None.
So tell me, and if you are sending money back home, your company is the one who will send to you, and
Yes.
they will take the money again from you.
Yes. Yes.
So meaning any angle you want to go, they are there.
Exactly.
To loot you.
Exactly. Exactly.
So okay, then what is then the blessing that they have blessed you?
There's no it's an illusion. It's not an illusion. It's purely an illusion.
And the pastors in Africa, they are praying.
Yes.
That people should go to abroad. That is the, when people go to abroad, when a pastor prays and nobody goes
that's I've said it. We need to wake up from that prayer nonsense. It's not we need to wake up. It's a way to just keep us from exercising our powers of sovereignty over our land. It's that simple. They make you not question anything, to not use your brain properly, to just accept what you've been told, that you're a sinner and that you've sinned and you're asking for forgiveness, and you'll always be a sinner in the eyes of Jesus, and you have to keep asking for forgiveness, and that you have to give yourself to Allah. All that nonsense. Wake up from that quick.
And so when you travel, is travel part of the heaven? So like, because I saw some people when the pastor pray for them, they come to abroad. They say, "Oh, it's a blessing. God will bless you to go to America."
No. It's not it's a cost to leave your country. It's actually a cost to leave your country, a continent full of resources, and go to somewhere where they don't have any resources and beg. It's a cost. It's actually a curse. Wow. It's actually a curse that we need to lift off our heads, because we are blessed more than any other continent in the planet. It's not. I kid you not. We're not. The resources we have. There's not enough paper in this world to print for the value, to match the value of the resources we have. There's not enough paper in this world, in the entire world, and that's what we need to understand.
The black people sometimes are arguing. So when you have more cars, look at our politicians.
Yes.
When they have cars, some of them have 7 cars, 8 cars.
Nonsense. Nonsense.
And they are so proud of themselves. So
Yeah.
I want to ask, how can you be proud of something that another race has invented?
Exactly.
How can you be proud of it?
Exactly. No.
That's my question.
It's not something to be proud of at all. Far from it. And we need to be the ones who making it ourselves. We need to support people that can make it in our continent. We should have our own cars with our own names, with our own style and everything else, and sell it around the world. We have the resources. We have iron ore. We have all we have steel. We have everything. We have it. So yeah, it's very, very important. So please, people of Ivory Coast, understand that safeguarding your sovereignty over the national resources and ensuring an equitable management thereof for the well-being of everyone. You have the right to demand that your government kicks out the US, because they are going to ultimately be coming for your natural resources, and you don't trust the US. You want them out because those resources belong to you, the people. You are the sovereign. This is exactly, it exemplifies exactly what we've been saying over and over about the need for us to know our rights, to know that we're sovereign, we have authority, we have power. We've just proved it here. With that sovereignty, you can question your government, because the resources are meant to benefit the community, not those who are bringing military bases, who are going to loot those resources, because they're after your gold, they're after your diamond. Be no doubt about it, because they are going to position the US base in close proximity to where the resources are. You watch, and they will be looting it. You must put a stop to it. You must stop it.
And another thing is that, you see, we in the diaspora, we try our best to other and teach people back on that.
Exactly.
Some of these leaders, Allah is from a particular tribe.
Yes.
You see, if you meet those kind of tribes, all of them will be talking that, oh, the man is good.
Exactly.
It's from their tribe.
But
one thing I want them to, not only Cote d'Ivoire, but all the African.
Yes.
Let me tell you something. There is something we call nationalism. And you can't take tribalism over nationalism.
Exactly.
If some situation comes, let me tell you, you have to throw tribalism away.
Exactly.
Anyway, in the national way.
Exactly. Exactly. This is what we're trying to inculcate in our people. And that's why if they know their rights in their local language and they know that the resources is for their benefit, they will all stand together and prevent it from being looted by anybody outside or inside.
Because
and it will get rid of tribalism. It will get rid of tribalism.
Because if destruction is coming,
yeah.
Let me tell you, my brother citizen, any enemy of Africa or any destruction that is coming to Africa does not know a Yoruba man or a Igbo man or a Hausa man. Do you hear me?
Yes. Yes. It doesn't.
So why should we have those kind of things over nationalism?
Exactly. 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 So
if you're a Yoruba man, I respect you as a Yoruba man. If
exactly.
I'm also an Igbo man, I respect you as an Igbo man.
Exactly.
What is wrong with that?
Exactly. There's nothing wrong with that. That's how we should be. That's how we should be.
Our differences is supposed to even be more good for us than
exactly. 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 Let us bring Israel 2K. Welcome on board. Thank you for the gift. What would you like to say? And thank you, Aderemi, as well, for the gift as well. Thank you so very much. Israel 2K, let's hear from you. I'll be wrapping up in the next 10-15 minutes, but let's hear from you before we wrap up. Go ahead. Israel 2K, can you
hear me?
Yes, we hear you loud and clear. Go ahead. Welcome on board.
Africa, unite.
Ashe.
Leaders of every African country come together, unite as one. United Africa. Africa has to unite. That's the problem with Africa and Africans. No unity. Separation, segregation, strife, and war is tearing down the kingdom. Unite. United Africa. Blessings.
Yeah, blessings. Thank you. Ashe. Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you, and thank you for the gift. And that's all right. Our cooperation is what is important now. Uniting and cooperating right now. I'm going to mute it because it's echoing. Sorry. Let me. Angela, I'll mute you for a minute. So yes. Yeah. So my brother, I'm so grateful that you said that. And that is something that we need to encourage in all platforms, our unity at all cost. Ibrahim Traore said something on one of the broadcasts. He said, we will stand for motherland or death. And motherland as in the whole of AES or death. If anybody attacks them, they will stand together. And when they went and attacked, when there was an attack on Niger, they stood by them. And Mali, they are standing for each other. And this is what we need to inculcate. And they're standing because Africa belongs to Africans. You know, it doesn't belong. No African can claim any part of Europe. No African can claim any part of Europe. None. But Europeans claim and say that they are Africans. They take the land from African. Any European that says his land, the African land is his. That's racism right there. That is racism, because those lands were taken off Africans. So these are the kind of things that we are really trying to speak out about. It is such a pleasure. I'm so glad for many of us here. Only for time purposes, if it wasn't for time, I would happily go on and do this broadcast. But I'm going to come back tomorrow with a part 2 of this, because we need to touch on Benin. But before I go, let me just read a little bit more of the report. So it says here, they keep saying the Central Silent Juntas, Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, established a confederation that deepens the break with ECOWAS and aims to strengthen their economic and regional credibility. Malian junta, they are not junta, they are intellectual realignment leaders. Intellectual realignment, they are not juntas. And this is we need to reject that narrative. Please, everybody, say it with me. They are not junta, they are intellectual realignment leaders. And we need to reject their narrative. And on that basis, I'm actually not going to read this, because I'm not going to accept this or say the words on there, because it's almost like a kind of what do you call it? A spell to be saying those words about people that we know are nothing like that. They are stopping friends they're stopping France, US, and all the Western companies from taking their resources. That is known as intellectual realignment. We reject the assertion that they are junta. We reject it totally. Spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, in every way. We reject it. So I'm not going to read that anymore. Let me just see what they say here. I just wanted to just read that bit, but I don't even need to read anymore now because I'm not going to give it the time and space. I'm not going to give it the time and space. We know what they're trying to do. We are waking up our people. So we are calling out the people on Ivory Coast. You are sovereign. Those natural resources in those continents, in your land, belongs to you, and you have the right to ensure that the government does not allow a foreign company, a foreign nation, to come and take your resources. They are after your gold and diamond. They are after your gold and diamond. They are after your gold and diamond. Wake up. Wake up. Ladies and gentlemen, only for time purposes, I'm going to wrap up now. I need to get some sleep. Thank you so much to everybody that's joined and made comments. Angel, thank you so very much. Nature Lover, thank you. Israel 2K, and many others. And thank you so much for the gifts as well. And I'm so grateful. I'm really, you know what, I just saw this thing now, the donation, the £200 donation. If you go on there, you can see intellectual realignment. I'll type it. Intellectual realignment. Let me write it down. So, intellectual realignment. And it was said by Dr. Arikana Shombori Kwao, and I loved it so much that I take it as something that we must share on all platforms. We should be putting up. In fact, I'm going to put it up as a word, in the map. It's intellectual. This is an intellectual realignment zone. That's it. Intellectual. Let me write that down. Intellectual realignment zone. You had it first here. So, intellectual realignment zone. Okay. So we put that down, and then you will see it pop up on my zone. So the AES zone is an intellectual realignment zone. So when they are writing their false narrative of juntas, we are rejecting it. We are just disregarding it. They don't have the right to tell us what we're going to name what we do on the African continent. It's enough that they've taken over Africa for 500 years. Enough. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to stop now. And we're going to come to an end. Before I go, let's play How Long Gonna Go Suffer. It's a song I wrote. You can download it on Spotify, on iTunes. It's on there now. It's a song I wrote. I hope you like it. It's a song designed to empower us as Africans to hold our governors to account, to actually stand up for our rights, and begin to actually hold our governance accountable. And if we so wish to go our separate ways in those countries, then we should, to have regions rather than be stuck in nations where the resources are being sucked out by the West under the cover of being of being a nation. We need to put a stop to this. So thank you so very much. Before we go, we're gonna play the song one more time. So I want to make sure I've got it all. So let me just hear it out first quickly. Oh, sorry. Is that it? No. I knew something was up. I think I moved a dial a bit. Oh. Hold on. There we go. Ha! CitizenAY. My people, oh, at the salute. Hey, 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 ha. Me una here, oh. How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long? Oh, how long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? My people, we don't tire inside Nigeria. Now slave camp we there, oh. Now so my people we don't tire for the country where them they call Nigeria. Now slave camp, oh. The time done now we suppose stand up for our rights, oh. Stand up for our rights, oh. The time done now where we suppose stand up, oh, for our rights, oh, for self-determination. How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go they suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go they suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go they suffer? How long go? How long? How long? How long gonna go they suffer? Abdul Salam na fake man. Now he put that yeah constitution for your head, yo. Abdul Salam na fake man. Now military man come tell una say una get constitution. Na lie, yo, na fake, na fraud, oh. That yeah constitution. Now in then they take close to the eye, yo. Make una wake up, make una wake up, oh. Moka Berenio, I just they wonder. 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 Berenio, I just they wonder. Moka Berenio, I just they wonder. Moka Berenio, I just they wonder. Moka Berenio, I just they wonder. People I want make una know say oh, self-determination oh, na your right yo. My people I want make una know say oh, self-determination na your right yo. You must fight for your right. You must stand for your right. You must get up, stand up. You must tell your people for your village, for your town, for your city, and inside country where you there, oh. Atiku, Emiloko, Opita Obi no be the solution. Now the solution, now be the solution. Make una wake up. Wake up. Make una wake up. Wake up. Time done now. You be Yoruba man. You be Biafran. I want make una know say self-determination na your right you. Hey, 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 Yoruba na your land yo, Middle Belt na your land yo, Hausa land na your land yo, Biafra land na your land yo. No be Nigeria, no be Nigeria, no be Nigeria, no be Nigeria. La, 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 oh. Thank you so much. I hope you all enjoyed that. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for the wonderful gifts and donations. Please continue to share. Please subscribe to CitizenAY, the platform where we speak truth to power. We aim to enlighten, empower, encourage us to make sure we free Africa. Collectively, we can. We are unstoppable. We are people that never leaves this planet. We come back, we regenerate, we regenerate, we regenerate, and we are doing what our ancestors have put in place for us. We are taking the actions. What they have actually done and prepared in the spiritual world, we are manifesting in the warrior world. And we thank you for the gift. I'm truly grateful for your support. Please, if you can, we'd love your support through subscription. We'd like to get to 400 subscribers on the platform. Then we can do all of the work that I've been showing you that we need to do. We need support and we need your help in doing that. Thank you so much. For now, I say thank you And may our ancestors continue to guide us and and stay with us and protect Ibrahim Traore, Assimi Goita, and General Chiani. I am so grateful. Ashe. Thank you so much, Angel and Aderemi. Thank you so very much. Nature Lover, thank you. Israel 2K also, thank you. But Aderemi, so thankful. That poem, I must have a copy of it, please. Let me have a copy with your name. I want to share it. We need it to be nursery rhyme in all schools across Africa in their local languages. It will even be powerful as well. But of course, great work there. Great piece. Please share it. Thank you so much. For now, I bid you all good evening. I'll be back again tomorrow. Thank you and bye for now. Odaro in Yoruba language. Odaro. Yes. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Yes, good, great. I look forward to it. Yes, Adiremi. Thank you. Bye. Bye all. Bye. Okay. So we are ending the broadcast on TikTok. Thank you all so very much. It's over 3 hours long. And I'm going to end that now. I wanted to play that song. I'm going to go and lie down. It's late. It's 3:25. I wasn't planning to be this late, but hey, sometimes these things do happen. But we're here. I want to thank everybody that watched the broadcast this evening. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up. And even afterwards, when you're watching it again or sharing it to family and friends, encourage them to give thumbs up. There are a lot of people who have been watching it, and we are grateful. Continue to give us thumbs up even after you watch the broadcast. You can rewatch it again, and I'll try and share more stuff. And we'll be giving you more updates about this. Tomorrow we are planning to come back with the part 2, where we'll talk about Ivory Coast, the powers of sovereignty, and again, of course, the Benin Republic, who are in the same situation supporting the Western powers. On the African continent, that actually goes against against Africans on the continent, and that's not acceptable. And we need to make people aware that when they're supporting foreigners to go and attack their own fellow Africans, that is actually immoral. It is unacceptable. We need to denounce it, and we have to make sure that alliance of Sahel states that are carrying out intellectual realignment must be protected by Africans, not put in harm's way. Thank you all so much. You've been listening to CitizenAY, the platform where we speak with power. Thank you for joining. Please continue to share. Thank you, and bye for now.